win. We leave nothing untouched. We are Spoon 107.5 FM. From the top of Wologisi to the beaches of Maryland, we cover Liberia like nobody else does. This is Spoon 107.5 FM.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEOs, then coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the South Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. To spoon. You from Funjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat Cape Town, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. To spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? This one you back today.
Spoon TV.
This one you back today.
Spoon TV. Spoon
Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment. To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Funjema, Maryland, to spoon. to spoon. If you eat cake, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon
Listen.
Spoon TV. Spoon
Bada. Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment. Cool.
24 minutes up to 8 p.m. here in Liberia.
Go to there.
It's raining cats and dogs in some parts of the country. It's drizzling other parts of the country. Hope you had a beautiful and a wonderful Sunday. If you're celebrating your birthday today, love to say happy birthday to you. Those of you who did celebrate your birthdays, belated birthday to you. And pre-one to those with birthdays coming up. But today is the birthday of one of the favorite panelists, on the show, none other than Isaac Doe. Today is Isaac Doe's birthday. He's well loved by many Liberians, even though they disagree with Isaac, but sometimes, they agree with former Minister Doe and all of that. But today is his birthday, though. So whether or not you agree with him or you disagree with him or not, you have to wish the former minister a happy birthday. He's now in opposition. And today is his birthday, and you have to tell him a happy birthday, irrespective of whichever side of the coin or side of the fence you find yourself, whether you're from opposite Lone Star there or you from up the hill on Broad Street. Whichever way, today is a panelist's birthday, and we wish him all of the best on this day and wish him all of the best in his life as well. One-on-one with the CEO comes your way right about now. The guest is none other than Honorable John S. Morlu, the second former Auditor General, Republic of Liberia, a very prominent member then of the Unity Party campaign team for the 2023 presidential and general elections in our country. The questions have been asked, why isn't he on board? Many expected that he would have been given a government appointment by now. He would have probably headed a ministry or agency, or better still, the asset recovery team. But the good news is Honorable Morlu, the second, is our guest here on One-on-One with the CEO. The former CEO, Mr. Stanton Alexander Witherspoon Sr., is going to steer the affairs of this show, and I'm sure he will be joined by Abdullah Kiatamba, the very sensational political analyst as well. So brace yourselves for a very, very, very interesting edition of One-on-One with the CEO. So once again, today is the birthday of Isaac Doe, our panelist, former minister Isaac Doe. Today is his birthday, so please be rolling out the happy birthday, Minister Doe, happy birthday, Minister Doe, happy birthday, Minister Doe. And we'll open the phone lines, and I know many Liberians, whether Seditians or UPs or ANCs or whatever they call it, will want to wish him a happy birthday as well. I do see the former CEO is in the background. He's definitely going to come on the show. And as I said, this promises to be a very, 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 very intriguing edition of One-on-One with the CEO. I do see Mr. John S. Morlu, the second, is already prepped and in the background. We're waiting on, we talk about punctuality. He's here and on time, waiting for the former CEO to take his seat as well. He's in the background, and this show is going to get underway. My name is Diamond Slanger, and I'm producing tonight. Seth Sherman says, happy birthday, Isaac. Though Kendrick Menti says, happy birthday, Isaac. Aruna J. Joma says, happy birthday, though. Elvis Unbothered, says, today is the birthday of Reverend Nimle, the spiritual advisor to President We Are Reverend Nimle in a late issue 9. With the whole Australia visa saga. But if today is his birthday, for which I cannot confirm, well, happy birthday to him as well. Tommy Johnson says, "Happy birthday, Mr. Doe." God favor comfort Norman says, "It's not a must now to wish him a happy birthday." Come on, God favor. You know, he's on the show. One way or the other, you enjoy his presence. But aside that, he contributes to the show. And after all, he's one of us. So, just wish him a happy birthday and get it over with. Teddy Kenway says, "Happy birthday, Mr. Doe." Hawkins Reeves G says, "This interview has been long overdue. However, will Kev still be in today?" Well, I can answer that if Kev comes on the show. We are a very versatile show, very tolerant show, and we enjoy diverse views as well. Dede Muller says, "Today, all of them birthday." Okay, she's trying to confirm that today is also the birthday of Reverend Emmanuel Nimley. Again, as I said, check that out. Yeah. Happy birthday, Mr. Doe. I know you're missing your power. So true, Daddy. That is from David B. Imas Cisse. Minister Washington Colley says, "Happy birthday, Minister Isaac Doe." Yep. So we're waiting on the rest of the folks to join us. Serena Tisley says, "Happy birthday, we are son Isaac Doe." The AKA by Inzala Woyi. Boom Burger, what's up, Chief?
What's going on? What's going on, Diamond Bone? Baby T, how you doing today?
Asuba Opa. Yeah.
Oh, man. You can call me any name. The other day, people call me Nee, whether you like it, you like. Oh, man, Nick for my team. But you're living with a name. You need Baby T, okay?
Yeah, but I agree. I haven't disputed the fact that it's not my name.
Exactly, but the reason why they gave you Baby T said it's not. It has no meaning, man. The reason why they look at a man like you, like that Glen man like you, they give you Baby T.
You don't want to show that at me, you want to start.
Yeah, man. Glen man like you, they give you Baby T name. Who can believe that one? So that's somebody.
How was service?
My service was good, thank God. Service was really, really good. Yeah, the message said, "Beware of dogs."
Oh.
That's why the pastor preached on beware of dogs. DOGS. Yeah, beware of dogs. So I don't know. Listen, folks, I don't know. But today we having John S. Morlu. I don't know why the pastor preached on beware of dogs and John M. Morlu coming on. I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that pastor spoke to John Morlu. No, I'm thinking on it now. That the pastor maybe he spoke to John Morlu. I don't know how many dogs we get in Liberia. How many keke? The dog with the sole in the ear, then what did the flat bunny ear? Just shaking it. Yeah. But even dog like that, it can't go to that dog cannot even go to Chicken Soup Factory or Buse Quarter. I would never come from that free. What? But listen, folks, we are happy to be here today. We want to say thank you on a beautiful Sunday, the 9th of June, 2024. We're 6 months into the year. 6 months into the year. We got another 6 months to go. And there will be no more 2024. Then we'll be marking next year, January, 1 year of the President Joseph Yima Barker term. Imagine 6 months into the year, we're bringing John Morlu to speak for the very first time on issue after the first 100 days. We want you to share this program. It will be one of the biggest. It will be for you to take away something. Today, if you take away anything, next Sunday when we're coming, don't come. I'm serious. Today, if you do not take away anything, next Sunday, same with us here, don't come. I can guarantee you, I can double dare you, you must carry something home today.
Yes, Daddy.
Yeah. The man said, that money you're not supposed to prophesy. I don't know why God gets special day for people to prophesy. Man, so we're going to give a few more minutes to Kiatama. He always running late. Why?
That Kia Sportage, like diesel. It needs time for the engine to,
Yeah. Ketema always running late, but we have to do the show. We want to tell you that listen, share our program. We want your comment. We want you to speak. We want you to tell us exactly your question. We're going to post your question to Ketema. So this first segment will be the Honorable former Auditor General, John S. Morlu II. You post your question to Ketema. I saw it on Facebook. We'll read your question, but in the end today, send us your question. We'll ask your question to the Honorable John S. Morlu II. You understand that John Morlu served as Auditor General. John Morlu was very instrumental for the Joseph Yuma Boaka campaign. So we raised nearly 500,000 United States dollars. But something happened. John Morlu traveled as far as Ghana and he refused to go to Liberia. He bought his plane ticket to go to Liberia, but he didn't get in the plane. He went at the airport, but he didn't get in the plane. One woman tried to understand why. And as of today, John Morlu is not in the government.
You said, what was the theme again for today's message?
Beware of dogs. Yeah, beware of dogs. That's not my theme. That's why the pastor preached on today. Pastor Jimmy James. He said, beware of dogs. But that one, and then give him a second to Ketema, man. We got to do this show. I want to take the time to ask the Liberian people, Diamond. Maybe 10 calls real quick. Then Ketema will be in studio. Then we'll bring in Mr. Morlu. Oh, he's in studio?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then I'll go to the phone line. I mean, the man is late for work, and, you know, there's a ground for suspension, and there's a ground for, you know, we gotta dock his pay. John Morlu and myself, where we're coming from, we don't play this thing. We come on time. This is business. So, but ladies and gentlemen, after John Morlu, in another segment, we will be bringing Kev Hassan on. We will be bringing Kev Hassan on in another segment after John Morlu. Kev Hassan gets something to say to Liberians home and abroad. We announced the other day that he apologized to Dr. Richardson. He apologized to Dr. Richardson's husband, Abraham Richardson. And, you know, I care less whether he apologized to me or not. I'm done. It's a past story. He asked to speak to my wife. You know, he have not given the chance yet. But he will come and address the Liberian people, yeah. So you may ask, why are we bringing Kev Hassan, though? Listen, I want you to hear him. I want to also ask Kev Hassan why he chose to come back on Spoon to speak to the nation and to apologize again. Why? I want him to look at you. I want you to ask him questions. I want to open the phone line that you ask him questions. If they were going to be President Joseph Boaka today, President Weah today, if Weah was going to win, you think Kev Hassan was ever going to come back on Spoon? No. Why he's not going on Freedom FM? Why he's not going on all the other FM and on their own social media outlet? Why he want to come here? After a long debate, Madam Titi, the CEO, said, Kev can come. But you will see the different Stanton tonight when I see that brother here on set. You will see a different Stanton. And I can guarantee you, it will not be looking good. And I can guarantee you that. But I don't want you to focus on that no more. Because we got Ketema sitting in the studio with a barman, can go hat on and his dark shades as if to say it's raining or it's sunny in the studio. And I guess Mr. John S. Morlu, the best man, I don't know when the guy coming to do my taxes. I begging, he said he will come and he ain't come yet. So, the taxes in finished. We're in June now. This guy is killing me. John Morlu will make IRS will come after me, you know. But he damn good though. He do the taxes. Boy, no trouble. Super. That's his job. He was born to do taxes and auditing. So are we ready for Ketema? I want to bring him on before I bring in Mr. Morlu real quick.
Yes.
Yeah, can we bring him on? Please share the show. This is your one-on-one with the CEO. This is one of your best programs ever on a Sunday. You know, we're doing this thing for you. I know where you are, where you're sitting. We have the Honorable John S. Morlu II. He's our guest. Dama, I'm not seeing the flyer with John Morlu, Dama. Oh, sorry, it's here. There you go. I want to say, there we go. John S. Morlu, former Auditor General, Republic of Liberia. We are discussing national issue today. Please do us a favor. Please share our program. Invite your brothers and sisters Just send the link. Right now in studio, when you say super, when you say fabric, when you do YouTube, we 3,996 right now. If every one of you listen to us, please share the link. All right? Invite, go on your social media outlet. Invite somebody. Thank you. People are listening right now. It's 4,080. I don't like to do this, Kiatama, but we got to do it because we have journalist Morlu. And this is his program. There's no friendship, nothing. Welcome to the show. Abdullah Akiatamba.
What's up? My man.
I'm here, bro. I'm here.
What's up? What we got? You shooting, my man. You on fire, my man.
No. Listen, Kachama, I HR and gravy. Nice gravy. I came from church. The Lord bless me. I'm happy. I'm in good spirit. It's quiet, but I want Liberian people to get something from John Morlu today. I don't know about you.
No, this gonna be a truth telling on steroid. This is everything on the table. This is digging deeper, diving deeper, and looking at a wide range of issues. We're leaving nothing unattended and no issues unvisited. So he's gonna tell his story. He's gonna tell his truth. He's gonna bring his perspective to the discussions. And this was carefully choreographed and scripted, that this would be a tell-all interview. It is not a tell some, leave some, it's tell all. And the other aspect is to also do a deeper political analysis with us. He's not only a guest and an interviewee, but he's also an analyst tonight. And then we'll bring the man, Kev Hassan, and we will explain in detail why Kev Hassan will be on. But this is the issue. So we're going to cover a wide range of issues. And this is going to be big because Morlu, was raising money for the rescue mission. Morlu, put everything on the line, that the rescue mission is our way out of the quagmire, the disastrous reality he described that was happening to Liberia. And Morlu, from the very onset, felt that the train was a little bit going through some rough seas. So he raised the alarm. You can remember that when he raised the alarm, people were very uncomfortable. People were very uneasy.
I was right here. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so he raised the alarm. So, and when he raised that alarm, at least 2 or 3 times, and then he took a back seat from the whole train process. But we see a pattern, Stanton. We see Amar taking a back seat to some extent. We see the Yeke class. We see the Amar class. So I'm looking at some of the greatest assets, some of their weapons, some of the both intellectual, technical weapons are basically been blunted by their failure to play an important role. And the reason is more important than the action. The reason they are stepping away.
I know where you're going with this. One simple thing people want to know. Today, why John Morlu decided to speak today? I don't like to do the too much, long sermon. Whenever the pastor asks me to preach, I preach under 30 or 20 minutes. Because it's not for me, Katema, to make you change and go to heaven. I have to speak the message of God, and God got to finish it. The people asking John Morlu, why are you speaking today? Why now? Katema, I know we'll be bringing the brother on in the next 2 minutes, but can you help me? Can you help the people understand why do you think John Morlu is taking this position now to speak?
I think there are several reasons, and John Morlu himself will be the best person to say it. But from our own analysis, that he feels that, look, I've felt this too long. I felt this thing is branding me. I got to release it. It's sitting on my chest. I got to remove this accumulated complaint, concern, and worry about the state of affairs, about the direction of my own rescue tree that I helped develop, that I provided resources, that I guided, that I nurtured. So it is time that I speak out. And also, usually, is to say, I told you so. So down the line, if something goes wrong, he can come back and say, but I told you so. I was those who raised the alarm. But I also think he also has a responsibility around, is it because he did not have his way? Is it because he did not get
what was his way? Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to say we are presenting to you right now. Is it because he doesn't have his way? He's not having his way. He will not have his way. But the question is, what was his way?
What was his way?
And I will go back to say there's a way similar right unto a man. But the end thereof sometimes is a way of death. What was John Morlu's way?
Oh, what was his ideas? His ideas.
Fight corruption.
Right.
What was John Morlu way?
Was the asset recovery the best way possible was done right?
What was John Morlu way?
Was the issue of our claim?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to bring to this network, for the very first time after the 100 days, the former Auditor General, His Honorable John S. Morlu II. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, my brother. Welcome to the show. John, it's good to have you. It's good to have you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to One-on-One with the CEO.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm happy to do everything so.
Sure. Well, welcome, my man.
Thank you, Abdullah Ketamba. Thank you. Good to see you again.
My man, I like this suit, my man. I like that suit, my man.
Well, I like your African attire.
Look at it, man. Look at it. The man want
They Teto is dressing like a Liberian Ghanaian.
I'm telling you,
I'm in my purple. I still do purple. Yeah. Our country is here to be rescued, so we say in purple. Yes. You know that.
Yes. Yes.
But I mean, it's been a long time. How have you been, man? How's the family? How's everything?
Well, the family is doing well. Business is doing well. You can see from my voice, I've been sick for the last week. This time of the year, I usually have very severe allergies, but this time it turned into a very severe cold. But I'm glad that today is Sunday and I'm feeling upbeat and well, and I'm happy to be on Spoon. So let's get started.
So, Joe, let's get started. Go ahead. What you said?
No, go ahead.
No, I said I always left for us to start on top of the hour. So, you have anything to say? We want to give you a chance. We have 3 more minutes to 4 o'clock. That will be 3 minutes to 8 o'clock Liberia time. We have already set our pre-analysis, and you have the 3 minutes to go. Shoot, John. Okay. Why are you here today?
Well, like you said in your intro, both you and Kiatamba, it's been 6 months since the rescue team took over. Not exactly 6 months, but almost 6 months. And I've kept quiet, occasionally sending religious text messages about encouragement. I believe that today, on a Sunday, June 9th, will be an appropriate time where people who want to know where have you been. I do receive countless and countless text messages and phone call about my accent. My absence from the rescue train. I just want to let them know that I did not disappear, but I have always been a person who assess risk, measure the risk, and if I believe that the risk is too high to my reputation and my comfort, and that my involvement in a particular transaction or activity is not going to yield any tangible result, I have learned to retreat. I'm very good at retreating, repositioning, and coming back. So I was in retreat. I didn't quit. I just decided that I needed to step back and observe and collect all the data and information as much as possible, so that when I'm talking from the vantage point of truth and honesty and objectivity, and I do it without bias and I do it without fear. So I'm available to you to answer just as many questions as possible. I will do my best to answer truthfully and forcefully. My approach is say it now or say it never. So I'm here to tell the Liberian people, first and foremost, I want to thank you all for coming to the rescue team, not only giving your money, but sacrificing your time and energy to help Joe Barker get elected. Do not regret that. You did the right thing. It was the right decision at that time. We needed to get rid of George Weah because we saw all the vices that George Weah represented. And it was just and fair that we all got around Joe Barker to give him the last chance to become president of Liberia at his age. So for me, there's no regret, but I hope at the end of the day, like you said, Stanton and both you and Kiatamba, when the conversation is over, that there is enough takeaway that people understand what has gone wrong, what can be corrected, and how Joe Walker need to move forward on the rescue agenda that we all coalesce around. So that's what I'm here to do, Stanton.
John Morlu, let's get into it. I'm going to ask one question. Ketema will come with two questions because I've asked you the first question, giving you your intro. John Morlu, where are you right now when it comes to President Jose Yumabwaka and his administration?
Well, I am still a supporter of Jose Yumabwaka. Number one, he's a family. You don't abandon family and run. But I will tell you in all fairness that there are things that have happened in the last 6 months that could have been prevented. Okay. And I want to talk about those issues, but also give you a way forward. So I am still with the rescue mission. And my presence here today, along with you and Ketamba, is to make sure that Joe Walker succeed. Okay. Because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, our reputation, our energy, we went out to people and made the argument that Joe Walker in 2023 represented the best way forward for a country that needed change. I still believe in that. He had made a lot of mistakes along the way. There's a fear or crisis of confidence in his administration. We need to set that correct. And anyone, whether family member or friends, who cannot look somebody in the eye and tell them the truth, you are not a good friend. And today I come to tell President Wakai, then Uncle Joe, what I believe are his mistakes and how he can correct them going forward. I have tried, by the way, let me just point with this. I have tried my utmost best in the last 6 months to engage and support every member of Joe Wakai cabinet who are reached out to me. Okay, they're not like they abandon me completely, I abandon them, they come to me privately, I help them out. I have counseled and provided my own recommendation of advice in at least 5 memos to Joseph Wakai on the way forward. So it's not like I'm coming here just to say things. I have also documented, because everybody says President Wakai likes to read. And one of the agreements that he and I had, whatever you want me to know, memorialize it, put it in a memo format. And I think I have done that consistently. Have they been accepted and even recognized? Absolutely not. Only one of my 5 memos were ever acknowledged. So they told me to write him a memo. I did a memo, and I have not really received any response. But
You care to tell us, not to go deaf into everything, you just care to tell us the headlines of those memos?
Well, the first memo that he actually asked me to write was about how to reposition the executive marshal for effective governance. Okay, because he and I fundamentally agree. And this is his phone call to me, I think somewhere around June 5th, January 15th. That nephew, we need to fix this country. Charity begins at home. I said, okay, Joe, Uncle Joe, what are you talking about? He said, you know, you're always talking about the Minister of State and the Executive Marshal. How can you help me restructure it? So I spent 2 weeks helping him restructure and reposition the Executive Marshal, and I wrote him a very nice memo entitled Executive Marshal, Good Governance, how to position Executive Marshal for effective governance. I thought that was a blueprint that would probably have put Joe Walker and his administration on the right path to good governance in Liberia. Because for me, Stanton, at the end of the day,
was that accepted?
Well, he acknowledged it through his personal assistant. He asked me to write it. So that particular one he accepted. All other memos after that.
He accepted. Was that, can you let us know whether it was implemented?
No, it wasn't implemented. It was not implemented. If it was implemented, I bet you things would be different.
I'm going to pause. I'm interested in hearing the rest of the memo. Let me bring in Abdullah Ketema.
Well, John, happy to see you. I'm very much excited, as many people are, to see you. And I'll ask you a few questions, and I'll take a little detour. We have seen some big initiative of the president, and we've seen a literal collapse of some of them. The asset recovery, for example, it represented a hope through which so many people will feel that impunity and the cannibalization of our economy, the misuse of public funds, people who privatize or basically put public fund for personal use will be held to account, and that will stop this massive bleeding of innovation at the expense of the public coffers. So that collapse, we saw the issues, the controversy around the 285 yellow machines. We saw the issue of the tenure. All of these issues, what do they say to you? And how do you interpret that? And what do they represent for you?
And you know, starting when you started, you wanted to know why I left, why I got on the plane in Accra on June 20th, wrote Uncle Joe, then Uncle Joe. These are the things that you asked me to do. I have delivered them for you. Goodbye. God bless you. See you. Katamba, I'm a man who believes in professionalism, who believes in organization and structure, who believe in term of reference. They make mockery of me, right? The guy just want term of reference all the time, blah, blah, blah. But I really believe the fundamental issues in Liberia is it's not an issue of how many kilometers of the road you build, because Samedo did that. It's not the issue of how many chairs you got in the school. Those are government responsibility. But the fundamental problem that has afflicted every president, including the most recent one, Judy Bryant, Ellen Sedi, Joe Weah, is governance. They struggle with accountability. They struggle with transparency. Is what every president has struggled with. You can't achieve those things if you're not organized. And if you saw doing the transition, I was insisting on structure, process, and organization. In Liberia, from what I sensed when they were coming into power, and this is my own risk analysis of where they stood with me and Amakone and other people that were pushing the agenda, was accountability is going to be a big challenge for this government because they don't want to get organized. When I mean organized, they want to do something quick, fast, but they don't want to do it the right way. You understand? So yellow machine, it's a good thing. Who doesn't want yellow machines in Liberia so that you can do agriculture and pay roads? But you got to organize yourself so that you do it right way, right? So that the public don't begin to question you about, hey, where's the quid pro quo? Where's the process? How did you go about securing this? What did they get for it? So now the yellow machine, the objective no longer becomes a valid argument. What becomes an argument? How? And I think if you take everything that they have done so far, if haphazard, is disorganized, right? The appointment of people in government. That was one of the things that Uncle Joe and I agree on fundamentally. And my first time on Spoon, well, when Spoon asked me, what are you going to do for Joe Barker? I said, we agree that we will hire competent people and vet them. For me, that was so fundamental in shifting the thinking of the Liberian people, that for the first time you can get something on the merit, that you can compete. And even if you're going to get a political appointment, be vetted, so that you have a constitutional responsibility to appoint, but you also have a moral and legal obligation to appoint the right people in the right places. Get that confidence to the Liberian people. They didn't want that. So Kiatamba and the Liberian people, what do? Do I go and get myself stuck into
I beg you, John. Who? You can say they didn't want that.
No, they didn't want that.
Okay, because we gotta be specific.
And I agree with you, Stato. I'm one who believes in any corporate governance environment, okay? In any corporate governance environment, we say the fish rat at the head, the tune at the top. When I mean they, in this case, I'm putting 100% of the burden on Joe Walker and not anybody else. Because it was Joe Walker who we elected. It was Joe Walker who made the promises. So to answer your question, Joe Walker didn't buy into my argument that we needed to vet people, that we needed to recruit people professionally, and that we even needed to onboard people. Stanton, think about when you get a job in the US, do you just show up and somebody give you a laptop? No, Stanton, here's your job description. You come on the job, you go to orientation, right? They onboard you properly because the success of any employee, political appointee or otherwise, is how you onboard people. We even wrote, Joe Walker and I wrote the framework around how we're going to onboard each political appointment. That wasn't done. So at that point, I figured, okay, this is a key issue that I really believe in. If they're going to go back and begin to appoint people the same way that Joe Weir did, or Ellen Sedi did, or Charles Taylor did, or Samuel Doe did, then we don't have no change. And you also, my name on the list, my name not on the list. Somebody remove my name. Oh, I can't find my name on the list. So it becomes an argument about lists, rather than an argument about competency, about term of reference, about objectives, about key results.
Okay, so John, one thing, and I highlighted a few specific things. Tell me three important things that you find troubling with the administration. I know there's generality around, have they running things haphazard, no process, things are just awkward, disjointed to some extent, impulsive, erratic. But what is it that you can put your hands on that represent troubling signs, three major troubling signs, and what are your solutions?
Okay, so again, it comes down to, I'm a business person, right? I've been running business for over 12 years. And the only defining basis of my success is getting the right people in the right position. Okay? If you get that wrong, everything will go downhill. And I think unless Joe Walker can go back and try to correct, I'm not saying at the ministerial level, but you need anybody below the ministerial level to be placed in the right job. I can tell you there are people in the job who just got those jobs who are not, that was not even their first preference, right? So you want to go here, you can't get this, they pull you there. So you're completely misfit, right? You might be the PhD from Harvard, but you're in the wrong job. So Kiatamba, I will tell you, this is the issue that I've been fighting with. Number one, you got to understand that the basis for competition is by getting qualified manpower in position of power. And if you don't do that, everything else is secondary. The other issue that I believe that Joe Walker needed to do, and which we agree on, the executive marshal. You live in this country. The executive marshal represents the pillar of integrity and accountability and rule of law for the country. You need to fix that first. And Uncle Joe agreed with me that all his effort will be put in fixing the executive marshal so that it represents the caliber of people that can move the country forward. Once he didn't do that, we're going to have trouble. He needs to fix that. So these are two things that I already told you. The second one is
the third one.
Third one is consistency. Consistency. I can oppose certain law like tenure, right? I say I don't want tenure, I want tenure. We can argue that all day constitutionally. But you can't pick and choose which tenure job you want and which tenure job you don't want. So if Joe Walker and the administration say they want rule of law, and rule of law is part of their arrest agenda, make sure that you give the public the perception, no matter whether you like it or not, go through the legal process of removing people from power. I'm one of those who is opposed to tenure position, but I will remove people based on investigation, based on legal process, so that the Liberal can be confident that I'm being fair. Right now, everybody think that, okay, this is just bio. You remove this person for LTA, you keep the people at NASCO. They all have tenure job. So it looks zigzag to me. So these are I mean, just on the highlight, these are some of the three issues that I think if consistency in terms of what you do, because people are watching, and I want people to take this, that Liberian people are not gullible, okay? A gullible country cannot remove a sitting president, a popular sitting president. They saw that Joe Walker represented the best path. No matter how much they love Joe Weir, we remove Joe Weir. So Liberians are not gullible. They can see the inconsistency.
And let me jump in, Ketema. I beg you, let me do this. And let's just do this because you asked a very interesting question. Folks, you're watching the Spoon Network, one-on-one with the CEO, Abdullah Ketema, co-host. We have our guest today, John S. Morlu II, John. We ask our people to send in questions. We ask them to comment, and we'll read the question accordingly.
Yes.
You said something to Ketema about the executive mansion. To his question, what about the executive mansion you think President Barker is not consistent and need to be fixed?
Well, think about this, right? So, and maybe they corrected this now, but we know from history, the biggest problem that we have is the person that occupied the minister of state. In our constitutional democracy, the Republican form of democracy we don't have a prime minister. So the power of the presidency is normally embedded in the minister of state who organize and oversee and execute the government. So I told Uncle Joe, that's a government, that's an institution that's established by law. You need to make sure that whoever you bring in there is not just a body system, that the person can look you in the eyes and tell you you're going wrong. And I give him an example that if it was not the minister of state, the chief of staff for Donald Trump, maybe Donald Trump would be even bigger trouble today. I also told Uncle Joe, in our system of government, like in Ghana, the secretary to the president, we all know Valerie Jarrett, who was secretary to Obama, is as important as the minister of state. The minister of state runs the government on a day-to-day basis. The secretary to the president runs the president affair. You need somebody that understands you and your administration. You need a special assistant. So we did all of that. Put all the term of references together, the roadmap for each of these positions. Instead, one of the things I also found out when Joe Barker asked me to look at the executive mansion, I call everybody that work in the executive mansion that I could find to give me their job description. Those who are leaving Joe Weir administration, many of them told me, hey, I don't have job description. I called the assistant minister, the minister of state, who were under Joe Weir. He said he will put them together for me. There was no job description whatsoever. So I told Uncle Joe, we need to put job description together for every position in the executive mansion. So these are the things that we were trying to do when I say fix the executive mansion. But you can't really move a country like Liberia if people do not have trust and faith in people.
You pointed out Sylvester Grisby. Is he in a good faith to serve as chief of staff to the president?
That's Joe Barker prerogative and the Liberian people's. I'm not going to cast doubt on his ability, but he would not be my minister of state if I were president.
Why?
Because number one, I want people who have the innovation, the creativity, the energy to push things forward. Liberia needs people, not people who can take quick action, because the country is like 100 years behind, right? We can't come back and try to figure this out. So if I were looking for a minister of state and I was Joe Barker, I'd be looking for somebody way opposite me, somebody who's going to come in and be like a John Podesta, move things, change things around, be that vigor, understand governance, understand financial management. That's what I was going to do if I were Joe Barker.
You make mention of the word buddy. You think he was nominated, appointed because of his Joe Barker buddy?
Oh, but that's a fact. He's Joe Barker friend.
That's the only reason you think the president brought him in?
I don't know. That's the only reason, but I'm sure that played a significant factor into it.
So is the president doing body over country, over the interests of the people?
Well, I don't want to accuse the president of doing body over country. You got to make that judgment. But if I were president of Liberia, I'm not going to pick Sylvester Grisby as my minister of state. Sorry.
Get him up?
Well, Senator, not a man personal choice. So,
yeah.
Listen, I'm done to ask the question.
As far as Senator is concerned, Sylvester Grisby should be dismissed tomorrow morning.
No, I'm not going to trivialize. Ketema, I'm not going to trivialize this. I respect the opinion of John, You have over 5,000 people listening to him right now. I don't know how many on the radio. I'm just telling you, Ketemba, we need to ask the question he need to answer.
I agree. Okay, yeah. So John, no, you've been careful tonight. This is not a John I know. We're trying to. John is trying to undo John. We're not allowed that to happen. We know John. He started. John is trying to be very careful, measured.
No.
Instead of is pulling, but you're trying to call yourself back. No, John, we want to rear John tonight. Not for us, but for the country. Because John has a chance. The ship is still on course. There could be course correction. And John's voice could be that energy, that impetus, that lead to a massive demand for change of direction.
Yes.
So do you see the trend at this moment in your assessment, in your unvarnished perspective and assessment, that they are moving on the wrong path and that they need to change immediately?
I said that already. I said they're haphazard, they're chaotic, they're disorganized, and they have to make course correction. Because number one, right, the same thing that happened to George Weah. Joe Walker is in a crisis of confidence. And this is very significant. Crisis of confidence in the way that the Liberian people and the international community, it's all about perception. You know how many people call me and ask me, is Uncle Joe in control? Is your uncle in control? Do you really think he's in control? When so many people say that domestically and internationally, you got problem. So I don't know how much more you want me to be more forceful to tell you that, hey, he needs to.
What's your answer to them, John? We will not let you skip this one. They call you international partners, domestic folks, regional folks. I said, is your Uncle Joe is in control. What answer did you give them?
No, I tell them all the time. I have had the opportunity to not just deal with Uncle Joe. I've dealt with presidents, including Eddie Sedi and even 5 presidents in Africa. So I know how they think, right? So I tell them, in the end, Uncle Joe is going to get rid of the inconvenience that he has. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Is he in control now, John? That was the question. What was your answer to them?
Yes. I think, again, I'll preface my statement when I came on board that corporate governance, the way I look at things, everything that is happening in Liberia is approved by Uncle Joe. There is nothing that is going on. You can blame Mamaka on Yellow Machine. You can blame Grace Bay. We can blame Boma Kamara, all these other people. Uncle Joe is in the know and is in control. When is he going to make a course correction? I know he will. Because in the end, no president want to go down. They cherish their legacy. And I think Uncle Joe knows that his legacy is more important than any individual. He's making a lot of missteps. I mean, almost like when you watch Liberia, it's crisis upon crisis upon crisis. But in the end, he and only he has to make that decision to make that course correction. So yes, Stanton, I tell everyone, he's in control.
So since I want to follow up with John, because John is staring at me, he's basically putting me on fire for some questions.
Yeah.
John, honestly, Stanton, listen to John very keenly. Uncle Joe is in control, but he's in control of disasters. Uncle Joe is in control, but in control of missteps.
Yes.
Uncle Joe is in control, but he's in control of everything disjointed, no process, no structure. Couple of them. So Uncle, is he enjoying his missteps, or is he a victim or hostage under circumstances beyond his control? But why would he love to be in control of chaos, of disjoint, of completely non-aligned process? I mean, John tell us, and then you are telling us he will course correct. Is that a prophecy?
No, it's not a prophecy because I think I have started with him. I have talked to him one-on-one. I know what he's made up. But like every human being, he has made a lot of mistakes already. And people say we should give him opportunity to course correct. He said he will course correct in 6 months, right? People are waiting for that. He just said that recently he will course correct. But yet, Katamba, here's what I tell people. We can give you time to course correct on building roads and education and how many schools you build, but we can't continue to sit by and allow you to mess up the governance system. Because the reason Joe Walker came to power is because we said Joe Weir is corrupt government. Joe Weir is incompetent. Joe Weir is violent. He run the violent government. I mean, we lay out all the vices of Joe Weir. It is embarrassing that we come to power and make the same mistake as Joe Weir. And let me tell you why I believe also Joe Walker is going to make course correction besides his legacy. He doesn't want Joe Weir to come back to power. That is probably driving him more than anything else. Because if he continue like this, Joe Weir will be back in power.
John, I can't let this go. I beg you, stand I beg you, for John.
Yes.
John is neither in the government. John could have been on the asset recovery. John could have been a finance minister. Exceptional, qualified, brilliant man, a patriot. But John is sitting in Virginia, going around the world, changing systems, financial system, and governance. And Liberia is in peril. John, why don't you take a position in government? Were you offered? Did you ask?
Can you bring that? He just said something.
No, stand there. I beg you, just leave with John.
Okay.
John, why did you step up?
So the question is now, why did you step up?
Mm-hmm.
I joined the Joe Walker rescue team on 4 issues. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Walker, I've been supporting Uncle Joe for a long time. He calls me up and say, I want your credibility on the field. I want you public. And I said, no, I will only come public if we agree on these 4 issues. 1, we need competent people in government. 2, we need to earn impunity by asset recovery. 3, we need to make sure that people are vetted in government. 4, we got to restructure the economy so that it focuses on private sector growth. Now IMF, now World Bank, when they come to power, what did they first do? They put fire in my face, they go IMF, World Bank. They invite me there, I didn't go. So obviously, Kiatamba, I am not going to go in principle to join a government that already disagree with me on approach. For me, approach is very important. If you and I do not have the same governance approach, and you are saying that my approach is wrong, why should I join you? So to not answer your question, that's why I got on the plane and left. Because I figure they don't like my approach. They don't agree the way I do things. Because I'm a guy who comes in, I want results, Kiatamba. You saw me doing the transition. I don't want plenty talk. You got a job to do. You deliver, and you deliver fast for the Liberian people. If you don't do it, I'm going to yell and scream. They don't want that.
John Morlu, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
And
I are going to fight over John Morlu tonight, but I want us to get something.
It's a national asset.
Okay, I want you to comment. I want you to share the show. I want you to ask a question. We'll read it out to John. This is very important, John. You said if the president continue on this track, he just warming the bench for George Manawia return.
I agree, and I told him that, and he doesn't want people to. I told Joe we are the same thing. Joe, we are now friends, and we probably stay friends. We talk, we joke, and I told him I defeated him, and he accepted. I told him in 2018 we are going to beat you big time. We just don't know which candidate because he was proceeding the wrong way. On asset recovery, Joe, we are and I disagree, and I'm coming to this. I'm not trying to go. So Joe, we are Samuel Twe and Jefferson Koji called me. They say M1, they call me M1. We want you to help us with asset recovery. Okay. What does that mean? We want you to lead the asset recovery for us. I said, okay, no problem. But Mr. Joe, we are term of reference first. When they put together term of reference in the roadmap, let's try to negotiate with the international community how these things get done. Because I have an expertise in studying asset recovery, and there's a standard that you follow. But Mr. President, after we did a term of reference, by the way, Kiatamba and Stento, Joe, we are asked Archibald Brunel to lead the effort. I wrote the entire term of reference with the World Bank and some of my international friends. Send it to Joe Weir. But the first condition I asked Joe Weir to do, if you want me to do this, you pay 40 units People are crying where you got the money to build the units. You have to dispose that first before I accept. Joe, we are refused. There where we broke away Stanton, me and Joe, we are on asset recovery. The same way when Joe Walker, they don't want to do the right thing. I think I said that from the beginning. The asset recovery, somebody called me from Abidjan, they had to go about doing this. I told them, let's follow the process to do it right. Instead, they put together a committee. And I told them the committee was going to fail because that's not how it's done. So Stanton, to answer your question, Uncle Joe knows, and they all know, the biggest elephant in the room is Joe Weah. And if they continue like this, and if election were held today, we will not defeat Joe Weah. Joe Weah will beat us.
Why were you saying that the people of Liberia, not John Morlu, why do you think that those that angrily talk about the Jefferson? No. Let me ask my question.
I'm not interrupting you. The message is something that is profound. The message, if election were here today, John Weah will beat us.
Yes.
I heard him. The Liberian people are hearing.
Hold on. I beg you. Morlu, if election were here today, John Weah will beat Joseph Boakai. Is that what you said?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Joe Weah will win. We defeated Joe Weah.
Let's break this thing down, but we heard that, and I think Ketima trying to make me lose my train of thought because you know exactly where I'm going wrong. Let's talk about the issue. Why do you think the people will accept Josh Weah if election were to be held today than just a human Barker?
Because
what are the 5 pillars the people would talk about in bringing George Weah back?
Okay, so number one, we haven't changed anything that Joe Weah was doing. We said Joe Weah was incompetent and have a haphazard government. Look at the appointment process of Joe Boakai. People are complaining, even Joe Boakai people, even Unity Party. Everybody is complaining how this appointment process was done. People are not saying any focus on the economy. Show me what's the focus on the economy. How people going to get jobs? You know, how people life going to improve? They're not doing anything about the economy. I mean, maybe correct me. In the last 6 months, besides taking Joe Weah budget and maybe knock it up a little and send it to the legislature, send it back, I don't see any profound move towards how you build an economy that creates jobs for Liberian people. And Liberian people wanted jobs, and they don't have the job right now. Believe it or not, they do not have the jobs. So all the things that we promised, Stanton.
That's 2. You're now going to 3.
Okay. So you also have we say Joe Weah was not transparent. Joe Weah is doing things haphazard. Look at all the scandals that have come on Spoon. The corruption scandal, whether they are true or not, is crystallizing. And this is what I said, Joe Boakai has a crisis of confidence. It's being crystallized in the perception of the Liberian people that these people are just no different from Joe Weah, right? They go and engage in yellow machine. Nobody know what the hate and tail or how that came about. They went and started taking money from NASCO, right? Amakone and the legislature say Grisby must resign because of it. So they are making the same mistake that Joe Weah did. In the eyes of a rational person, they are asking, so what's the change? What is changing your approach to governance? What's the change in my life since you came to power? And I can tell you, and I told Joe Boakai in memo number 5. Memo number 5. You know what memo number 5 said?
No.
Governance and accountability. I went by to Edwin J. Barkley. I analyzed every Liberian president for Edwin J. Barkley. I said, Uncle Joe, you're making the same mistake that Joe Weah is making with his proper agenda. I mean, proper agenda. You're making the same mistake where Elie Sedi lived. Samuel Green Revolution, talk about total involvement. You just using slogan. I said, but even your arrest agenda does not have accountability and transparency as a focus. Liberian people don't care how many roads you build. They care when you steal $1 from them. So giving them the perception that your government is clean and that your government is serious about accountability and transparency, it's going to lay down a legacy for you more than the number of kilometers of roads that you build. I wrote here a 5-page memo on this. Focus on governance. Everything else will fall in place. If you focus on how many roads you build, Samuel Kayando build the Babangida highway. Stanton, have you been to Robertsfield? That highway is still there. But people still do was corrupt. Turbo brought in
came out. Yeah.
Turbo was corrupt. Charles Taylor, Vision 2024. If you read Charles Taylor agenda for Liberia, you see now, this is going to be heaven. But all of these agendas, whether the arrest agenda, live, poverty reduction, purple agenda, all these things, they won't come to nothing if they are not executed. So Liberia problem is not the issue of ideas and solution, it's the issue of leadership willing to execute those ideas. And you don't need to go create something new. You already have it.
Senator, you want me to go? Yeah, John, yes. I want to take you to tax now. I'm going to leave Buckeye and talk to John. John is telling me thousands of listeners in Radio Land, on the internet, around the world, that out of my way or the highway, if I don't agree with your principle, I can't work with you, John. So basically, John will say the country will burn as long as the leader does not agree with me. You know, there's this famous U.S. politician, Mario Gumo, who say you run campaign in poetry and govern in prose.
Yeah.
The prose of governance is there's disagreement, there's policy disagreement, but there should be something that is stronger and more powerful than that disagreement. The country.
Yes.
Yes, your uncle. Your uncle is facing challenges. You say, I will not help until they agree with me. So if everybody says the same thing, how can we build this country, John?
You are so wrong. You are so wrong. You are very wrong.
Tell me.
Because I just told you, even in my disagreement on the approach, because you got to understand this. Everyone in Liberia who is, before they become president, I'm their darling. Ellen Sally loves me more than she loves her own children, or equally. She used to call me a big son. Okay? Believe it or not, any family took a vote, and you can ask her, may her son so rest in peace. Ellen Sally people took a vote and asked to our number one as a Liberian to take care of Ellen Sally oral history. I recorded all, me. That's how close we were. Once they get the power, they don't like John Morlu approach. You remember when Ellen Sally said, we like what John Morlu does. He's smart, he's bright, and brilliant. But we do not like him more of what? Operation. Uncle Joe says the same thing to me at Amrakone. He loves me, he cares about me, but he doesn't like my mode of operation. So Kiatamba, who hasn't accepted who? They have to accept me for who I am. This is what makes me take. Other countries accept me. I'm dealing with 5 presidents around Africa and Malaysia. How come they accept me? How come I'm running a 56 people company? Nobody is crying. They all love me. How come I run a GSC? I collaborated with all these people. My GSC people, we love each other. To today's date, we love each other. How come I put together a fundraising team that was similar to Joe Biden? And we successfully ran all of those things. So, Katamba, am I really the problem? Or they don't want me on a team that is not accountable and transparent? So for me, I am still happy, Uncle Joe. I just told you I wrote him 5 memorandum, right? With different ideas. He doesn't feel me for that. I am happy as any minister in Joe Baka government. When they reach out to me, I help them because I want them to succeed. I encourage them to succeed. I show them a path. I have even made phone call on behalf of some of them. So I'm happy now. But I'm not in the government because I do not want to be miserable fighting people to do the right thing, Katamba. It is not my way only. Because anybody who know me, anybody who I ever work with me will tell you, I am probably the most tolerant human being on the planet. I allow people to do what they got to do. Even my employees at GSC, ask them, they disagree with me all the time. We fight it out. But at the end of the day, we work as a team. So to turn your question upside down, you should be asking them, how come you love this guy before election, but then he's difficult to work with after election? He's not this, he's not this, he's not that. So am I at fault? Should I go and change myself because I need to fit in some box? No, Katamba, we must always do the right thing. And we must do the right thing the first time. And the reason in all of this trouble because they don't want to do the right thing the first time. If they just did that yellow machine the first time right, follow the process, we all be happy with 285 yellow machines or 80, whatever the number is. So I don't believe I am the kind of person who say my way or no way.
Okay.
I get along with a lot of people and I get along with a lot of government.
Okay, John, war crime. War crime. The president has announced war crime is a populist issue in the country. The U.S. government look like they're falling over their heels to praise him. International community. There was a signing ceremony of a special group to facilitate and accelerate this process. It is complicated, but it has long been deferred by different leaders. What do you think? What's your take? I'm told that you've had some deeper interest in this. What is your thoughts?
Okay, so Stento probably know this. I mean, I posted it in our chat room a lot. The problem with the war crime code issue, I am one person who is 100% in support of war crime, but Joe Walker is not. And this is the problem people have with me.
Wait, John. Sorry. No, John, take it easy. If I may take it easy, take it slow, please. I'm not saying take it easy, but I want to understand you.
Okay.
George, I told you, Jack.
Yeah, you said President Baga is not interested in war crime.
But President Baga is not interested in war crime. Fenadi Kofa not interested in war crime. Yombli Kanga not interested in war crime. And this is what my problem is. You know why they're not interested in war crime? Because it's going to cost over $250 million to do this. It's going to take over almost 9 to 18 months to do this. But when I challenge each one of them, you know what they tell me? Oh, the public wants something. So they put it out there that they know in the end it's not going to happen. I hope it happens, but I'm doubtful it'll ever see a light of day. Then they prove me wrong. What are going to get?
You say you spoke to them. Can you do this? Can you do this individually as to who did you talk to? What was the answer individually? Collectively, you say they all say that. Yeah. Talk to us.
Individually, I won't put everybody in the group. Yeah, and Amakone knows it. They all know that in the legislature. I asked them, okay, you want to pass the war crime code? Why are you rushing? This is going to cost $3 million to set up. It's going to cost you anywhere between $250 million to $250 million, depending on the magnitude and looking at what happened in Sierra Leone. It's going to cost you 9 to 18 months to do this. I don't see anything in the United States government budget to support war crime code. Where are you going to get the money? They all say, when we get there, we'll discuss that. But the public pressure is on us. My frustration was, and Yombly probably can attest to this, my frustration was, this is a very painful issue on the part of Liberians. They want justice. They want fairness. They want accountability on this issue. If you're going to say you're going to do war crime code, you better be sure you're going to do it and don't let them down again, because every administration seems to have let them down on this one issue. As the stand to bring them on a show to debate.
I want to ask you. I'm going to ask them when I speak to them, but I'm going to ask you. The president signed an executive order, the establishment of a war crime code. How dare you say he's not interested and he's just bluffing? It's a bluff.
Stanton, take my word for it.
Did you talk to him and he told you? Did you talk to President Bwaka? Yes. And he said to you the people want it?
Okay, I'm not going to counter the nature of our conversation, but President Bwaka did not make the signature issue. He doesn't want war crime code. It's going to completely paralyze his administration, and he see the risk and the pitfall and the financial obligation. He's not going to do it.
We heard that the American is providing the money. So why
that's the question I asked. Show me the money in the American budget. But why? No, listen. Again, this is something that I'm also very passionate about. Right? I mean, we all lost people in the war. Don't mess around with war crime code issue. They are playing games. And I'm telling you, I talked to all of them, one by one, where the money going to come from, how this is going to be structured, and let the legislature come before you and tell you if whether we didn't have that discussion about where the money will come from. Stanton, if you do not have money to do something, and it's iffy, You need to tell the Liberian people.
The leaders of Liberia, the lawmakers, the pro tem, Yomdi Kanga Lawrence, probably she will be on the presidential ticket, or she will be running again for her seat 2029. Fonati Kofa, probably he will be on the presidential ticket. The Speaker of the House, Vice President Jeremiah Pankun, who didn't attend the ceremony that day. President Joseph Yimabuaka, the President of the Republic. You are telling the Liberian people that all these leaders put together to serve lie.
Okay, so
to Liberia.
Stanton?
Yes, sir.
This is a very simple process, right? Joe Walker say in the inaugural speech that he will establish an office to do war crime code. Dr. Allen White, everybody go to Liberia, they got frustrated, they came back, everybody call me that they're moving there. So I gave them a strategy. I told
White call you? Is everybody?
Yeah, I talked to Allen White. I talked to all of them. Like,
concerning this war crime issue?
Yes.
And what did he say?
He was frustrated that he wasn't moving fast, and that he felt that Joe Walker was not committed to it. And that's why they leaked that video on Joe Walker from Sierra Leone. That video, by the way, the video by Joe Walker talking about the war crime code, it was never about Liberia. It was USAID sponsor video on the war crime code in Sierra Leone. And then they tricked Joe Walker into giving that interview. Okay, so at the end of the day,
no, Ketema, the people got the Ketema, they got to understand John Morlu on this. Adam White call you to say he frustrated that Joseph Yimabuaka is not running as fast as he anticipated, and the video that was in question that was circulating, it's a video that was done.
Yes, it was leaked to force Joe Walker to commit to the war crime code after the inaugural speech. They stuck that in the inaugural speech. Then I gave them the strategy. Go to Fenati Kofa. And Fenati Kofa will pass it because Fenati Kofa is pro-American, 100%. And Fenati Kofa ran with it. Pass it, Senator Yombly pass it. That's it. Then it took a while again for them to pass the executive order. Because that executive order was written in January, by the way. It was written by Allen White and his team back in January. So the executive order was passed. Now, there's another letter that has been written on Joe Walker's desk. That letter needs to go to the Secretary General of the United Nations. Stanton, let them take the step and send that letter to the United Nations. Say, we have established the Office of War Crime Code. Now we want the United Nations to bless this. That's the next stage. Then the United Nations Secretary General will write back. Then they will take that letter to the legislature to pass the law. So this is a long process.
So politically, what goal does he hope to achieve? But you're just trying to bamboozle and mesmerize people. And not what is the end game? What does he gain from this?
I don't think Joe Walker gains anything from this.
But why is he doing it? Is he forced to do it? Is it because Alua is bringing pressure and they are tying development aid
again, this is complete pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say this. This is complete pressure on Joe Walker.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't disclose personal conversation, but even people around Joe Walker know this is just a hush wash. It's not going to happen. Okay. You got to take my word for that. But Joe Walker is now going to go the next step to send a letter to the UN, and then the UN write back, and then let find the money to do this. If they do it, that would be the biggest miracle.
Wow.
But from the information that I have from all of them, and Stanton, I want you to bring Yombli Kanga and the legislature on this issue because I told them this is so wrong. Don't get the impression that something is going to happen when you know it's not going to happen.
So Yombli, so again, maybe that's me though, Kateba. Let me say this though. It's very important to the Liberian people. Mm-hmm. So, John, all these people are lying to the Liberian people.
Yes.
People, 250,000 plus people died.
Yes.
And everybody, according to you, the Fonati Kofa that want to run 2029, the Yombli that will be running 2029, the Jeremiah Kun 2029, Joseph Yimabuaka, they all know that this will be like a dead end.
This is a vlog. It's a vlog
in Liberia, and they saw this thing. You're telling us that Allen White is so frustrated, and the pressure is heavy on Joseph Yimabuaka, and this going nowhere.
Yes.
We move.
We move.
We move, John. I think a lot of people are you on this. Let me ask you my question.
Yes.
It's important to know that the reason why we are here, folks, if you get your question, we're going to welcome the former Commissioner Pierre Brown. We want to say thank you for joining us, and every one of you that's sharing our program. This is big. This is huge. We have the former Auditor General John S. Morlu II speaking truth to power. John, with the exception of Sylvester Grisby, who else at the executive mansion you think just there?
You know, I only mentioned Sylvester Grisby in the fact that he's a minister of state, and I was asked specifically. For me, I don't want to pick and choose because of Joe Barker prerogative. But I believe that the structure, again, maybe because this is accounting in me, process in me, governance in me, I am more interested in the check and balances in the system than I'm interested in the individuals that occupy the position. Because right now, the way the executive mansion is being run, the check and balances is only one guy, the minister of state. That's not the way it is in Ghana. You got a chief of staff, but you got a secretary to the president. Even here in America, you saw Donald Trump got his son as special advisor, special assistant. So there are a lot of check and balances in the White House. And that's what I was telling Joe Walker. Grace Bay will become irrelevant, or John Morlu or Stanton, whoever occupies that position. It should not be about the position, but do you have check and balances? In Liberia, you got the president, you got some Ghanaian minister of state, he runs with it. And he does everything haphazard, and things never go right. So if I can pinpoint it, remove the president, put this president there, but as long as the structure doesn't change, nothing's going to happen.
Real quick, let me ask this question. We'll bring it to Tamba. I want us to move to the two very important conversations since President Joseph Boakai took over. Very two. The agreement with CTN and that of MedTech. We have never heard you speaking to these two companies. We just received information. I broke on the news that Sylvester Grisby asked Justice Minister to review it and gave him recommendation. And the recommendation from the Justice Ministry, keep MedTech, we drop all charges. The recommendation from Amin Muda, Common Ministry, and Double Jada LRA, your friend, keep MedTech.
He's my trouble man, I'm afraid.
Okay, all right. Keep MedTech and get away with CTN. You have another group on the other side telling President Joseph Yima Boakai, keep CTN and do away with MedTech. The government position through the Justice Department recommending drop all charges against MedTech. What say you?
Well, you see, I'm in other countries doing business, okay? So I'm not one person who's anti-foreign business because other people allow me in their countries to do work. But what I think Liberia's shortcoming is, Stanton, all this confusion that we're having is because of transparency issue. Because the Liberian people don't believe what is being done is being done legitimately and properly. MedTech and CPN, I don't know in details the anti-money laundering and terror financing issue. Some people think, oh, we are pulled out on them because of this, because of that. I don't have the facts on that. But here's what I would say as a professional. It is proper to do two things. One, when you come to power, don't, in a blanket way, cancel all contract or concession that you have. It's sending the wrong signal to the international world, particularly the private marketplace, that you do not respect the sanctity of contract. But it is incumbent upon you as a country to enforce the provision of contracts. Stanton. We're focusing on MedTech alone and CTN. But there are almost 18 plus concession and contracts that have been signed since 2006 that have not been enforced and are still on the books. And those people are going to come back 2-3 years from now and insist that those contracts be implemented. So I think what we should do in the MedTech situation is to rigorously make sure, number one, all the areas in MECTA that have not been properly implemented is documented, and the MECTA is required to restitute, pay fine, or their contract is canceled. But I think we should do it the proper way. So we shouldn't, however, take the tricks that every Liberian government have and go into long investigation, right? Stanton, this is one of the biggest classic poor governance practices in Liberia. They quit to set up investigative body, commission, and then the public forget, and then the company, they stay on. I believe Crispy and people in the executive mansion know already what is wrong with the these two contracts. And I think they just need to enforce. But setting up another investigation that was going to take 2 to 4, 5 months so that we forget, and then Meta and CTN just roll on. So my advice would be enforce what you know now and investigate what you don't know later. But
the issue is that, folks, we received information yesterday, and I'll run with that story tomorrow, that some ministers in this government, they are shareholder. If you talk about MedTech, some legal minds, they brought MedTech, they work for MedTech, and they have share in MedTech. So therefore, the recommendation to keep MedTech is of their interest.
But Stanton, you are talking about an issue that is a big governance problem in Liberia, right? Go back and look at all the concessions in Liberia. All the officials, from early to now, they are the owners of some of these concessions, particularly in the logging industry. I think that was a big scandal. So it's not just Meta and CTN, Stanton. It's the lack of disclosure and transparency as to who owns what in Liberia. Okay, they don't do that. And I think in 2008 in February, I was asked to make a presentation to GMA committee, which is international community, because under my contract as an auditor general, I needed to give a state of affairs of the country. And Stanton, I walked into this room with IMF, World Bank, EU, everyone, and I said, Liberia is very corrupt because nobody really knows who owns what. The officials are part of the concession agreements. If you go right now to Ministry of Lands and Mines, and you look at most of the concessions, you will see that the former president's brother was a representative of most of the concessions that were doing business in Liberia. So Stanton, there's a lot of stuff that is wrong with Liberia. And I think that the Joe Parker people, if it is true, are just carrying on the behavior that already exists, which is wrong.
Okay.
So we can, the point I'm trying to make, don't look at just CTN and MedTech. Look at that not in isolation. This is a larger governance problem. This is a larger governance problem. Stanton, they sign contracts, they take whatever they're going to take, and they have no interest in enforcing the provision. This is what today we have problem with the Buchanan Railroad. This is what we have problem with Buchanan Renewable, Mittel. I mean, all the Amley, all the concessions, Stanton. And I can tell you one concession that Joe Walker always wanted to investigate when we won. Well, Bill Martin. Where's Bill Martin? Joe Walker talk about Bill Martin all the time. Bill Martin this, Bill Martin. But where is Bill Martin now? Nobody's looking at Bill Martin. The amount of money they're taking out of Liberia, that's secondary thought. So enforcement is the issue. And the fact that people talk a good game when they come to power, they completely just, I was telling somebody yesterday, I said, I'm going to go on the show and I'm going to get an analogy that people are not going to like. We said Joe Weir house is dirty. Joe Weir bed is dirty. His blanket is dirty. We come in, we take over Joe Weir house, we cover ourselves with Joe Weir blanket and never clean it. So obviously nothing is going to change. So it's unfortunate.
John, did you ask for a specific job in this government and they deny you?
Never. Stanton.
Were you offered a position in the government?
No, I was never offered a position in the government. The only thing Uncle Joe said, John, Liberia need you more than America need you. But I'm running a company for 12 years. I am building almost 12 different tech solutions for governments and private business in multiple countries. Right now, I'm in 7 countries. I can't just abandon that and go sit down in Monrovia. If I have to join any government, it got to be for a goddamn good
John, did
reason.
you make recommendation to the president for the appointments or nomination and you were denied?
No, not one. Not a single one. Because you know what I didn't? Because I was the one talking about vetting. I was the one talking about recruitment. I believe any one of my people on the the fundraising committee and all the people that I know who have gotten job in the government on the merit. I can't be arguing against list. Then I go present my own list. So absolutely not, because that would have been hypocritical. I told my
When
team.
you ask concerning some of these those position, your recommendation, for example, finance, LRA, GSA, Central Bank, Ellis, how you call them, the rest of them. Will you ask of any of them concerning your own recommendation, listing, we're about to hire Bama Kamara, what do you think? What was your thought? I mean, will
No,
you ask?
no, I was never asked. The only conversation I ever had with Bama Kamara was when he told me that he wanted to go to finance or central bank. And I said, either way,
Did the president ask you then, or the president-elect ask you then concerning Bama?
no. The president elect and I had never had any conversation whatsoever on any particular position in Liberia.
Is
And
Bama performing? Is Bama performing well to you?
well, I just told you I don't know how Burma is performing because I don't know what the economic strategy of the country is. I think that's what I started with. I don't even know what happened in the economy. I've
The
never.
most recent incident with the budget, an accusation that fingering were done. The lawmakers called for investigation.
Is
The
that new?
budget was sent to the executive mansion. Why do you think so? Why would, I mean, did you
Center,
follow that story?
center. Again, the point is there's nothing new in Liberia. Fingering budget, fingering legislation. Google it. They accuse Ellen of that. They accuse Joe Weir of that. They're accusing Joe Walker of that. That's what I'm saying. Nothing seems to have changed. So I'm not surprised.
Will you have advised the president on the issue of the dismissal of civil servants? Some people say 40,000, other people say from the executive mansion, from GSA, from foreign ministry. Will you have advised the president that Josiah Joker, the position he took, that we will go after them, we will displace
So
them?
you see, I was interested, and this is why, and this is my position on the issue of civil servant. I told them during the campaign, and this I had a conversation with Joe Walker, then Uncle Joe. Do not go and fire people. They are Liberians and they need their job. Why I said we need to repurpose people. We need to repurpose people. There are a lot of people in job that are not faithful. The way you get rid of people center is to say, hey man, I hire you in the budget office, but you got a background in engineering. You should go to what I see or somewhere else. So my argument was you need to repurpose. That means you need to have a very good job description. You need to have qualification requirement. Center, how can you say somebody not qualified if you don't even have the requirement for them? So my advice to Josiah Joker and anyone who are going to civil service was first, you need to make sure that everybody have a job description. You need to make sure that they have a term of reference and a job description and a qualification for that job. Before you can say, can someone not qualify for this? You need to know what are the qualifications for that job. And if they're not qualified, you can always repurpose them into doing something else. So I wasn't in favor of hiring people because at the end of the day, I'm about job creation, Stanton. I think if you saw me doing the entire campaign, it was about creating job for Liberian people.
What do
So
you think about when you inform, and get to my last question, because I have all these questions, let me run through them, and you're coming after this one. Were you informed during the campaign or during the transition period, John, that all the clusters here were going to be leaders and directors, minister for those agency or ministry? I mean, was that a game plan?
well, I don't, I heard that, but I wasn't mad because I had almost 11 institutions under me. I had all the accountability institutions, LEGES, NEC, GAC, anti-corruption, I mean, and I hired the
Was
best.
it the right thing to do to keep them as ministers and directors in the
No,
respective?
no, 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 no. I don't think so because I believe, and this is where the problem for the transition also got me into some trouble with them. What was the purpose of the transition? Is to position people to become ministers, or is to take stock of what we are inheriting, or is to transition the government in the most smoother way? Katamba and Denton, I couldn't get that from them. What is the real objective here? What is it that we're trying to achieve? So, yes, I'm sure some people were positioning themselves for jobs, but I had so many institutions under me, and I wasn't interested in going by the GAC. I'm not interested in becoming anti-corruption person. And so I was not really interested in that world. My job was, okay, what do we deliver for Joe Wakai? I needed clarity. And when I was not getting that, I said I need a term of reference so that we know exactly what is it that we are supposed to do during the transition. So to answer your question, Peter, I think when you make transition, that people who had transition is going to be the people who had those institutions. Think about America. Normally, you got 4 or 5 people that go through transition, right? And not the whole cabinet that go through transition. And you saw me disagree with that. Why you have a long list? Why you have a long list of people who have no value addition to go through transition? It was just a list.
At
Instead
the
of
end of at the end of the day, John. At the end of the day, because we got I don't know how long Ketema have. He wants us to go to the phone line. I won't give it over to Ketema. Kev is in the back. We'll be bringing him on. But let me ask you, John. A week or so ago, the president appreciated Yata Fambula. With all the accusation that it was bad planning, the inauguration was very bad. The money of 650,000 went fly. The president nearly died of heat exhaustion. People died. A gentleman died from Minnesota after traveling to Liberia to witness. Another 2, 3 of them were in the hospital. Then the government said we'll open an investigation. No investigation report, no conclusion to the investigation. The president said Miata family is the best in the history of Liberia to manage inauguration. What say you?
Well, I know Miata family. I think she's a person of integrity. I think she means well. But I think the mistake she made, and she and I are good friends and we talk, okay? And I will say in this public forum, she made a mistake. And I told her, do not accept that position until you have a very good, clear understanding of the organization, the term of reference, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, who's responsible for what. You know what happened to her? They put her in a position where there was no clarity in terms of what she got control over, what she doesn't. So she's in a position now to say, this is not my responsibility. They were the pressing responsibility back and forth. And I said, Enter Mieta, you put yourself in that position. You should have rejected it outright, the way I was making noise. Where's the term of reference? Where's my obligation? Because Kiatamba, nobody can accuse me because I'm very straightforward. You got to give me term of reference before I join you. Even to join Joe Walker, I'm one of the very few people Joe Walker gave letter to. I said, I cannot join your campaign until you give me a letter. That's the what I need to do for you. And he did it. They did it. They gave me a letter with my term of reference all spelled out. It was only after the election that they don't want to get term of reference. So Stanton, I really don't know whether there was an audit, no audit, but I think Auntie Mieta family found herself in a very precarious situation. She accepted a position without having a complete understanding of her rights and obligations, her details, and what she have control over, what she doesn't. And in that kind of situation, you get blamed for everything or you get blamed for nothing.
Well, it has been a wonderful show, and we're still going on. And John, you provided Liberian people a wealth of wisdom, insight, and deeper understanding of our country. We appreciate you, and you're a huge asset to our country. Obviously, it's no debate. Now, you are the anti-corruption side, the perennial anti-corruption side in Liberia. I don't know who's going to take that role ever to outshine you, but I got a question. Looking at if we're to prorate the crisis and look at some of the emerging, the looming clouds, Would you say this government, it is moving towards a pace where, in terms of corruption, between George Weah and this government, the first period at the same time, at the pace with which are we going, how would you describe the record on corruption? Are they going to be more corrupt, less corrupt, or what would you describe?
I can tell you one thing, and I said this. If you just look at public perception, okay? If you just look at public perception, most people will tell you they are about the same or they're doing worse. But that's public perception.
You mean Baka is even more worse?
Yes, that's public perception.
It's worse, okay.
Yes. In my judgment, Baka has made a lot of mistakes and he needs to correct them. And one of the biggest mistakes that Baka needs to correct, he needs to focus on accountability and transparency issues. The arrest agenda is okay, but Kiatamba, you know, the foundation of any democracy is accountability to the people for their resources and the use thereof, transparency in how you recruit, in how you procure, in how you exercise government function, the rule of law. You can't be inconsistent in applying the rule of law. If Joe Baka did those three, everything else would be self-completing. He will be able to build roads, he will be able to build hospitals. But if he thinks you can sidestep accountability and transparency and jump straight to building roads, he's going to end up and give the same speech Sally gave when she was leaving. My biggest regret was I never fight corruption enough. Okay? So, I mean, go back to Ellen's speech. That was a big
Yes,
okay. And Joe Weah alluded to that. You got to focus on the issue of corruption. And corruption is not just taking money. The biggest corruption is what Stanton was talking about right now. It's not taking money from the budget. The budget is 700 million. How much can you really steal from that? Where the corruption happening is in the concession and contract. It's in the CDN, the MedTech. These agreements is where the corruption is.
Roads.
Yes.
Roads contract.
So I tell people all the time, and I used to tell the Europeans and the Americans, we say the police are corrupt. But the police corruption is nuisance, right? I mean, Stanton give me $1, I will not give you TK. They are bad. They affect a vast number of people. But the most egregious corruption in Liberia is the concession and contracts. And today, there are over 18 concession and contracts still on the books, Stanton. Vicana Renewable. Write that name down. Vicana Renewable is still
East
there.
International stay around. East International and all those bad boys.
They are still there. They are still there, Katamba. These people hold these concessions and they're not doing anything with it. They're going to come back 2-3 years and flip that on the international market. Then you're going to have to pay for it. So now, if I answer your question, I don't think Joe Baka government is going to be any more corrupt because we are going to be around. We are going to be around to come on spoon, to engage them privately. And if we have to expose them, we have to do that. Because we have an obligation to make sure that Joe Baka succeed. Because Stanton, you sitting under on spoon is your platform that we use to raise thousands of dollars from people. So we have a moral obligation to speak out, to speak respectfully, but to be forceful where we see there's the need for correction. And at this point, if the election were to be held today, given all the misstep of Joe Baka and his recent administration, Joe Weah will win us.
Okay.
We don't want that.
So it is clear. I mean, if I were to summarize what you said clearly that you do not see nothing substantive has changed on issue of corruption, no policy, no actions that basically provide confidence and raise the hope of people that something dramatically will change. So everything remains the same, fundamental, all the fundamentals that create this culture of corruption and impunity still exist. Is that my impression? I just want to make sure. Yes. Okay. So now the question is, this, by extension, there's this concept of master plan. All these different pieces of arrest, where do they fit into this governance plan? What is that master plan that every sector, every ministry is connected to say, okay, this is the big plan around which all of our activities revolves. Where is that master plan for Joseph? What's that roadmap?
So, Ketamba, that's a very brilliant question that you asked. You know, in my one-on-one conversation with Joe Walker, Joe Walker is a guy who will sit there, close his eye, listen to you, open his eye, and then he says something out of the blue. We were having a conversation, and I said, Uncle Joe, Ghana is a gateway to Africa. I hate that. Kenya said they're this. Their president is this. What say you? He looked at me for long. He said, John, when we take power, we will be the final destination.
He said that. I remember.
You were there. I thought the entire government of Joe Walker, if I go to the airport in Liberia today, that should be the bullet. Final destination. Everybody should go on CNN, on Spoon. Everything they do. That's the big vision of Joe Walker. How that final destination look like? A place where people are at peace, where love, where compassion, where we got good electricity, good light, good water. I mean, what is that final destination? Grace Bay called me. Grace Bay was so elated. He said, Joe Walker said, I should talk to you about the final destination. So the entire Joe Walker inaugural speech was to be about that final destination. You know, it captured my imagination and my love.
Shiny sitting on the hill.
Yeah, Shiny sitting on the hill, Ronald Reagan. Or John F. Kennedy, we will send a man to the moon.
Yeah.
That's the rallying cry. And even today, I think every Liberian will rally around Joe Walker so that we compete with Ghana, so that we compete with Kenya and South Africa and Malaysia and Singapore. Then make this one place the place for liberty and peace and prosperity. Let everybody go around the world. Joe Walker say, John, you will end up in Liberia. Katamba. So that is the biggest puzzle that need to be put together now. What kind of economy do we have? And I'm going to say another thing too. In Joe Walker defense on the 100 day. Okay. And I just tend to discuss this before. If I were working with Joe Walker administration, you know the biggest thing I would have taken for the 100 day, when Joe Walker say, no car will get stuck in the mud. Think about how profound that statement is. That's such a big aspirational goal, should be a rallying cry for the entire country. Joe Walker, I mean, when Google say, I will put internet and electronic information in the hands of everyone, does that mean everybody will get it? LinkedIn say, I will connect all professionals on this planet. Microsoft said they will deliver laptop in the hands of everyone. These big aspirational goals are only supposed to be 40% achieved in our lifetime. No car will get stuck in the mud should be the mantra for the rallying cry for Joe Walker agriculture development infrastructure. So, but I don't think they're looking at it that way. They're looking at, oh, we said we're going to base on 300-mile road. We didn't do that. We said we're going to do this. So they're like talking little things, right? So I was telling them, look, 60%, 40 to 60% of aspirational goals supposed to be achieved. Committed goals, only 70%. So I will be 100-mile road. Maybe I only be 70-mile road. I still achieve. I still pass. So they're not trying to distinguish between what is aspirational. Joe Walker is 80 years old. He's giving you what his character is. Liberia, the final destination. Liberia, no car gets stuck in the mud. You should take that and run with it. That's
So what's the master plan? Do they have a master plan?
Well, they need to put a master plan around that. Their master plan right now is arrest.
Okay. Is that slogan there for now?
That slogan. And this is what I was trying to say. We've seen that poverty reduction strategy, interim poverty relief, Liberia, Propo agenda, Samedo, Green Revolution. We hear all of that. But at the end of the day, the rallying cry, what is the whole country all about? Is that final destination, and that everybody develop a strategy towards that.
Okay, so John, I want to come to something that's very important, and this is when you are being shifted to an analyst, from our very resourceful guests that basically seized the imaginations of so many people tonight, and you've done wonderful. But look, the opposition, the state of the opposition. We know the opposition is needed to bring pressure on the government to crystallize the voices of dissent and alternative vision What is the state of our opposition? How would you describe it? And what is your hope for a more vibrant, a more robust, and aggressive oppositions to push the government towards achieving its ultimate goal of reaching our destination?
Well, let me tell you, not just the opposition, okay? The critical pillar of democracy, and I go to democracy because I study government also at the University of Virginia. Okay, so I do understand democratic precepts. The co-equal branches of government, the more powerful constitutional opposition in our system of government, like America, is our legislature, right? It's legislature. They first have to be strong. What I mean, they always say, oh, we are collaborating with the executive. Yeah, your job is to collaborate, but your job is to do your job, which means to provide oversight and hold people accountable. Our legislature is too weak. They need to be strengthened. And I told Ellen Sadi this also, and she can attest to it. I said, Madam President, the strength of your leadership is going to depend on how strong the legislature is when you leave power. So when I mess around with Edwin Snow, they leave him because he's strong, he's fighting back. You need a strong opposition. Don't always kill the opposition. In terms of political opposition, political parties, I think the defeat for Joe Weir, they're still trying to regroup. You know, when people go through such a big blow and big defeat, they are scattered. They're trying to organize, and in due time, they will capitalize on Joe Barker mistakes. But right now, they have their own problem to defend. All right, Joe Weir and his people are defending everything. I don't know why ANC stands and other people that join Joe Weir, whether they're still part of that opposition, whether I even want to call them opposition, I don't know. But right now, the state of the opposition is they are also on the run. They are defending their position. Okay, and instead of looking at criticizing Joe Walker and trying to present an alternative, they are more defending what they did well. And my job to them is, hey, you can talk all you want, we already beat you. So that case is closed. You should be talking about how you're going to be able to rebrand and reposition yourself and come back as a different, more robust party to represent a different case to Liberia.
Now, John, I want to do something. You said a lot of things. You've identified some. You painted a picture of challenges, missteps, self-inflicted wounds. But I also want to tell us, for those who are listening, there's some silver linings that we can point to that can sustain our hope for something better. What is that? Tell me one or two good things that Joe Barker had done that gave you hope that there'll be course correction, that gave you hope that it may be rough for now, but things will get better. What is that?
Well, number one, I think people saw it as a weakness, but I think Joe Barker is trying to maintain the peace. Okay, when the army folks were out there, you know, he's a man that wants to present peace, and we need peace for economic growth. We need peace for a whole lot of stuff, and from that end, he's rising up and becoming this old father statesman. So that's a good thing. Stability is okay. All right. So we need that for him, right? Because he's the godfather of the nation at this point. So he shouldn't be moved by emotions. So that's a good thing that he has done. The other one that I thought would have been a good thing is he listened to me and didn't bring in international auditors, and he's actually using the government institutions to do this work. Okay, and I told myself, Uncle Joe, you can't go bring in international people when you have the Auditor General. Let the Auditor General prove himself to be capable or not capable, but give him the opportunity to audit the institutions of government, because we got to begin to strengthen and believe in the institution. So for that, I'm grateful that he listened to me on that one. He didn't jump out and go and hire a bunch of people, and like the way the ECOWAS did doing Julie Bryant, or the EU did, bringing people, they do audit, they collected $400,000 and go. And he has believed in our recommendation during the transition. Keep anti-corruption commission, keep these people until they do wrong. They are good people. And I can tell you all except for one. And I'm glad he's gone. That guy from FIU or FIA, Financial Intelligence Unit, that guy was just a basket case, okay? People he was completely outfields, right?
Are you talking about Ford? Are you talking about
Like Ford. I mean, the 500,000. I mean, I am glad that Joe Biden got rid of that guy quickly and fast. Okay? But the rest of the people, they were cooperating, they want to do the right thing. Sometimes there are a lot of good people in Liberia, but you got to support them.
Right.
So I am glad so far he has been fired most of the accountability institutions that were under me. He listened to my recommendation. I said, keep them. Try them out. They want to do the right thing. Use them as the institution. So the fact that Joe Walker believes in institutional reconstruction, institutional maintenance, I think it's a good thing. All right. But we need to go beyond that now, right? We need to go beyond that and begin to actually execute what the institutions come up with, right? We need to do that.
Okay. Stinto, I just want to put in one thing quick. No, we do know, John, you have a cloud in our international cycle, and you've done well in terms of connecting issues and how a nexus between resources and needs of our country. Look, Joe Barker comes to this with so much goodwill, international goodwill. Do you think he has leveraged international goodwill on the global stage, powerful players globally that can create a windfall of financial support and resources to Liberia? Do you think he's working on that pretty well at the international front? So what is your assessment of their work in the international front?
Well, let me tell you, when you come to dealing with international people, I'll give you an example. In 2004, Julie Bryant was the most successful Liberian president to raise 500 million, right? 500 million along with Colin Powell. That money never came through Julie Bryant. It draped through our Ellen Seli administration. Ellen Seli never raised a lot of money. You can't find anywhere where Ellen Seli raised a lot of money. It was Julie Bryant money that Ellen Seli was benefiting from. It was Ellen Seli money that she raised that Joe Weah was benefiting from. Unfortunately, I don't know how much money Joe Weah raised for Joe Biden to benefit from. But the point here is, it takes time. International people, they do their budget on a multi-year basis, right? They're going to tweak it here and there to give you 25 million, 10 million here and there. But I believe, okay, that for Joe Biden to succeed in building a country that is focused on private sector, you got to tap into your own people first. You need competent, capable diaspora Liberian. Don't overlook your people. That's what Ghana has done so successfully. Ghana has capitalized on the diaspora, okay? So successfully, encouraging them to move back home. Ghana has capitalized on Black America. Okay, Katamba. Ghana has capitalized on Black America.
Hugely. But we should be capitalizing on it, actually.
Let me give you, before you cut, let me just give you a quick 2 minutes background to this. I think 1994, I was at an event in Washington, D.C., at an international event where you have international trade people are selling their country. And guess where I was standing? I was doing an internship, working in a booth for Canada. And then this guy, Vice President Al Gore, and this African guy called Gerald Rollins were passing around. And then Gerald Rollins came to, they go around to each booth. Gerald Rollins came to my booth, and he noticed my accent. He said, "Hey, you Liberian, why are you doing a Canadian booth?" And I joked. I said, "Do you see Liberia around here, sir?" I never knew that was Gerald Rollins. I knew who Al Gore was. So from that day, I started to figure out what is this guy Gerald Rollins about. I found out that Gerald Rollins visited Washington, D.C. and California more often, but you never saw Gerald Rollins go and speak in Congress or White House visit. He was always hanging out with Stevie Wonder, all the Black Americans today are in Ghana. Gerald Rollins tapped into these celebrities, and also Gerald Rollins tapped into the Black churches, Black churches. So when Ellen Seli became president, Stanton, Back then, the internet was not ready. I mean, you could buy stuff. I actually went and purchased the catalog of all black churches in America and gave it to Eddie Selly. I said, follow the Jerry Rowland blueprint. Do not come and go and speak in Congress. Go to every black American church in America. Spend your time in the churches because that's where you're going to get the business people to come to your country. That's what Joe Barker got to do. Joe Barker will not get much money from the IMF and the World Bank, African Development Bank. These are dropping the bucket. They got other 227 countries to deal with. Joe Barker got to go to Black America, go to diaspora.
Morlu, thank you very much because we got to squeeze everything in. We are exactly 2 hours into this program. I want to ask this question, and we ask you to please hang with us. We have another 30 minutes to go. We got to take questions. We got to bring in Kev Hassan. But I want to ask you, Morlu, man, the conflicting message here. One, rest price goes to $18.50. The rest importers saying no, it will go to $20. The president said not on my watch. Morlu, can you put all of this in context for us?
Yes.
How serious is this rest issue?
Senator, one of the issue during the transition was I did a template, and I said we needed to measure the degree of risk we had in fluctuation or the stock of rice in the country and the possibility of an increase. Because it happened to John Weir, by the way. If you look at John Weir time, around this time, John Weir will call it importers, right? Negotiating. Yeah, around this time, the same time.
Yes.
Around the same time, John Weir ran out of fuel. So it's just right. The next thing is going to be gas. We're going to wake up one day, there will be no gas in the country. Then we're going to wake up another day, there will be no Liberian dollar. You remember? Joe had these 3 issues. So I said, we need to prevent those 3 issues. Stanton, that was in the focus. But to answer your question, my own cousin, Amin Moda, told him, you don't make the Ministry of Commerce and Industry about rice. Instead of begging people to change the price of rice, have a long-term strategy in the same way America does with gasoline. Gas and diesel is critical national security risk to America. What do they have? They have a buffer stock, right? They can always bring in more oil to bring down the rice price. But instead of trying to force people who are business people looking for profit, and you're trying to regulate that, what are you going to do? They're going to decrease the price of supply. And you
how dangerous this is for President Buhari?
Well, it's as dangerous as the war with Tobo or the war with Joe Weir. Rice is a staple commodity. But Stanton, here is what I was driving at. Instead of them solving the fundamental problem of rice, every administration have this problem. Around this time, if you just go back in history, they all have the same problem. Instead of them handling the issue, what did they do, Stanton? They always set up a commission to investigate rice. Do you know, we have a Tipo commission. So go back to Tipo and ask him for a report. So Stanton, we keep doing these reports. So
are you saying that the president said not on my watch? I mean, should people buy it? Will the rice price go up? As Amin said, will it go up to $20? We should remain in the confine, believing the president that rice price actually right now it's $19 on the market.
But Stanton, America, you live in America. You go for price control on housing in DC, you're gonna get shortage of housing. So price control has never really worked, particularly when it comes to staple food like rice. What Joe Walker should be doing, they should be negotiating in terms of getting a buffer stock, right? A stock of rice that they can sell to bring down the price of rice. But you cannot tell somebody who is in business to make profit to set their price at a certain rate. But here's my advice I'm gonna give to you. Here's my advice. Instead of forming a committee around Amin Moda, why didn't Joe Barker just take action on Amin Moda? Why you forming a committee around Amin Moda? Why you
take action like how? Take action like how?
Well, if you think Joe Barker, if you think Amin Moda is not doing his job in controlling the rice price and he doesn't know how to control the rice price, then bring in somebody else to do the job.
You asking the president, you think that you should have fired Amin Moda?
Instead of, if I were president, I'm not going to set a committee up to investigate something that I know that my minister should deal with. Because that waste the resources, that waste the time. So Amin Moda should deal with this issue because that's what he took the job to do.
Listen, gentlemen, we have again for your own understanding. We beg for your question. We'll be going into your question. John S. Morlu II, the former Auditor General, he bought his plane ticket to go to Liberia from Ghana. He got into the terminal, walked to the door of the airport, how you call it, and they asked him for his ticket. He gave his ticket. Then he turned around. Folks were surprised. What happened? Are you not going? He said, no, I changed my mind. Right at the airport. He didn't go. And yet we are talking to the Honorable John S. Morlu II. I'm going to bring in Kev Hassan. He got a message for Liberians today, and I really want John Morlu to hear. John Morlu is a young man like every one of us. You want to say something, Ketima?
Yeah, I just want to let the listening audience know we're going to ask questions. A lot of people want to ask John questions. He's the.
We're going to take questions, you mean?
Yeah, we're going to take questions. We're going to take questions. So we're going to open the phone line while Kev is watching the process, but we're going to ask the main question. A lot of people want to ask him questions. A lot of people want to benefit from his thoughts. His
Definitely. We're going to do that. We write down, John, I think maybe you almost to break this record. I don't know how it will be after the show, but a lot of people following you, you make some headlines today on the war crime issue and the other issue. But I want to bring in Kev in this space. He got something to say. We should be out of here in 30 minutes, actually 25 minutes. So we want to squeeze in everything we can. Let me bring in Kev Hassan. You have dealt with him before during the process. If not, he got something to say, and then we roll over to the phone line. Kev Hassan, how you doing today? We got our guest here, John Morlu. You've been following the show. It's good to see you. Through the negotiation of Ketema and yourself, speaking to the CEO, Madam Titi Kane, you are back on Spoon after so many years. Welcome to the show again. And why are you here?
Bring John back though. John, go.
No, John want to get a water. He'll be back.
All right. Thank you, Stanton. Ketamba. Thank you, guys. I would say I'm back on where I always feel that I belong. A Spoon.
That's where you belong. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say thanks to everybody. But thank you, Stanton. My coming on Spoon back. You know, I know there's a lot of controversy on my coming on Spoon, but my coming on Spoon is to set the record straight on a lot of things flowing on in the media. But let me say this before. Hey, John, what's up, my brother?
What's up, Kev? Long time.
I know.
Good to see you.
I see these two amigos give you a tough time.
No. John cool. John can handle us, man.
But
John again.
But let me say this. During the elections, we had a bitter election. I wanted to win. Guys wanted to win. And it happened. A lot of people say a lot of things, and I say a lot of things. Well, on June, I think it's around June 15 last year, I made a comment. And that comment that I made, a lot of people say a lot of things about it. When I made a comment that got to do with Stanton and the Women League, the women of Liberia, came to me, they sent a message to me, and they were very strong. And they said to me, what I said on the closing argument, it was offensive towards women. You know, I can always tell people that Liberian women, are women that we will always respect. We will always. These are women that we will never go away from. We will respect them. And they came to me and they said, what I said on closing argument was offensive to women. My sister Mariah Yakula, Maka of the High Table, Charlene Bronskin, women of dignity, women that we will identify ourselves to, said to me, "You are wrong." You guys, a lot of people saw the picture with Charlene Bronsky and I, and the husband, and a lot of people look into it and say, "Hey," but there was what they were saying to me and saying, "Kev, what you said, it was offensive to women," and I said to myself, "Hey, I will listen to women." And then what it said to me, right? I listened to them. When I listened to them, and immediately the next day, I had a call from Mariah Yakula, Ben Savi, and others. And they say, you have to apologize to women. Ben Savi told me that. So you have to apologize to women. What you said, it was wrong.
So, Kev, let's get to the point because, as I said, we don't have enough time. John is coming back. We got to open the phone line, and I believe you have some question for him yourself. We understand that it was offending to all women, but it was directly towards Dr. Richardson. Are you here to address the issue for us to move on?
Yeah, sometimes you're right, because we stay in court. I'm not going to go further away. But what I said at that time when folks talk to me, and I said, I apologize to the women of Liberia, and that apology extends to Dr. Richardson because she's a woman of Liberia. But what I said at that time was not pertaining to Dr. Richardson. She's a decent woman, and it's not pertaining to Dr. Richardson. I'm not going to go further into the discussion.
Did you talk to Dr. Richardson's husband?
Yes, I did.
Did you speak to Dr. Richardson?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And I think after all your back and forth, Kev, let me say this. What you said to me was horrible, was wrong. I care less what you said to me, because I know I consider myself to be an individual in Liberia that I have a huge following. What you said about women concerning Dr. Richardson was horrible. What you said concerning, I don't know whether you said it concerning my wife, but the position you tried to put me in, it was horrible. We got Liberia to talk about. We got Liberia to move forward too. Ladies and gentlemen, John Morlu is coming. His internet just slipped.
But let me say this to you, Stanton. Let me say this to you. What I said was not pertaining to Dr. Richardson.
That one between you and Dr. Richardson. You have already apologized to Dr. Richardson.
No,
what I'm saying to you,
what I said,
what you said, whether directly or indirectly to Dr. Richardson.
Yeah, well, what I said, stand on.
Kev, we're not going to argue. Directly or indirectly with Dr. Richardson, our husband, is a context that we have to.
Well, Stanton, what I said on the closing argument, if it's offensive to Dr. Richardson, I apologize, but I was not talking to Dr. Richardson. So that doesn't mean that it's Dr. Richardson. What I said on the closing argument, it's not pertaining to Dr. Richardson. It's not.
Whoever you said it about, it was wrong.
So this woman, I will continue to respect her, and I will continue to respect Dr. Richardson. So let's move on. Let's move on.
No, when I move on, I get John to bring back. John is back.
Yeah.
Why are you here today? I mean, you say you have never appeared on Spoon.
Yeah.
You said it will be the last place you would die. You swear to your children. You swear to your dead mother. You say you'll never appear on Spoon. Spoon is not a reliable network, blah, blah, blah. Why are you here today? Now you have to talk about the Abraham Richardson. No, you talk about the Abraham Richardson. You spoke to him. You talk about Dr. Richardson. You spoke to her. You spoke to Madame Titi Kane. Now, the people are watching you. They want to know, why are you here? Why you asked to come on Spoon?
Thank you. I love the question. Why I'm here on Spoon today, and I'm here on Spoon to save a network that
to save which network
that we built. Wait, stand on, relax.
No, I can't. What about you? You say you're on Spoon to save a network. Which network? Can't about help me out here,
wait. No, stand on. But you have to wait. You ask me a question.
You have to save yourself. You have to save yourself to save the network. I just want to be careful. I don't want you to confuse too much about Benin tonight. Get to the point. Tabata issue.
No, but Kiatamba, he asked me a question.
But you reading a sermon, nobody understand. Get to the point, ba.
Kiatamba.
Yeah.
Chill. Let me
answer. All right, I'm cool, dude. I'm cool.
Yeah, but chill.
So we gotta go to John Morlu. We're making progress on John Morlu. Guys, let's be brief now. Why are you here? I want to let people to hear. I want to get people to
let me say this. Sit down. We had a conversation. We had a conversation today. We have a behind the scene conversation.
No. Don't bring behind the scene.
Kev, listen to me, man. Kev, listen. I know what wrong with you today.
No,
you don't
Kev, listen. Go ahead, Kev.
We had a conversation. Our main guest is John. The whole country is waiting for John. John represent a huge.
Yeah, but Kiatamba,
my man, when you want
to but Kiatamba, do that thing. We'll get to John. Do that thing. Let's man.
I want to on Blue Moon to
do that thing. We'll get to John.
That man on Blue Moon to now.
No. Kiatamba, man. It's not stop, man.
No, but slow down.
No, but Kev, let him finish. Let Kev finish, Kev.
Okay, but
Kev, hold on. Let Kev finish. Hold on.
Kev, what you did on closing argument was offensive to a lot of people. Forget about with me. My point is, Kev is not here because Mariah Bromsky, this person called him because you think it's offensive. It should be because you know it's bad. It is horrible. It involves a decent woman who built her career, who mentor people, who's an inspiration for so many women. This is your chance. No. Kev,
hold on. Let Kev finish.
We're playing the Bible. You know you're not to come back. So that's what we're here for. You want to correct this problem. You want to address this issue, to mend the broken wounds, to repair the damage you caused. You said this, and you say you're not okay. You talk about Fallujah. You brought all those Iraqi memes. What is Fallujah? Fallujah falling. Fallujah. This is your chance. The country is listening. This Kev would now say, you know what? Kev is not from Saul to Paul. Kev is a reformed man. He's a new man. We want to hear that, Kev. Did you regret those actions? Do you think it was in bad things? Do you think it offended people?
Okay,
that's all we want to do. Do that. What's out there? We're no more part of story here.
Okay, Kiatamba.
Get to the point.
Okay, let me say this to you. I am what I am. That your reform you're talking about, I will always be Kev Hassan. I am what I am. I will never change who I am. Forget it. That your reform you're talking about is you're on your own. I will not. But let me say this to you. Kiatamba. Let me say this to you. A decent woman called Dr. Richardson cut off in the stray bullet. She was not meant to be in the stray bullet. She was not meant. I love that woman. She's a friend of mine. I will always love her, and she her husband. Let's leave that. The case is in court. Let's leave that. But what I'm saying to you, my appearance on Spoon today, because my network, Spoon, has been driven in a way that I no longer recognize my network.
Okay.
Let me say this to you. Ketama. Let me say this. You, Ketama, Tommy George, Ben Savvy, Dr. Peabody.
Isaac
Doe, build this network with Stanton Witherspoon, right? We build this network based on.
Yeah, those are.
Stay
away.
Yeah, build this network based on the people, for the people. I listen to this network. I no longer recognize my friend Stanton Witherspoon, a man who came into the spotlight of helping the Liberian people. The people, and I will always defend Stanton Witherspoon in the back. You know why? I will defend him in the back. Despite I will come on the media and attack him. Because I know his heart.
We're getting our feedback right here. Yeah, it's from you.
Not me. No,
it's from you. It's not from the studio.
No, I don't have nothing on.
Okay, hold on 1 minute. Hello? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was
I know his heart.
I mean, forget about me, man. We get shit
Hey,
to
my man, leave me, man. My man, let me speak in.
I mean, we gotta go to the line with John, man.
No,
wasting my time.
sit on. We'll go there.
I mean, forget about me. Let's go back on the Dr. Richardson issue. No, wait, Kev,
Okay,
listen. Listen. Kev, don't spoil the show. I beg you, for the sake of good heaven.
Let me speak to John Morlu.
I'll do what I always do to people here. Listen, we're doing so good on the show, all right? You also come back on Spoon. Don't come back on Spoon. Wait, my brother. I'll bring you in. I'll just mute you. I want you to hear me. I want everybody to hear me. Don't come back on Spoon because of me, okay? I care less whether you come back on Spoon. We're doing good. 100,000, 60,000, 70,000 every day. The people love the network. This is the people's network. Okay? You came for one purpose. In the back, you apologize to Dr. Richardson and her husband. You call them. You come here to tell us you offend the Liberian Women Caucus, the women in the Senate, the women in the Society Bush, the women in diaspora. That's not what we're here for. You have your friend. No, listen. I beg you, Kev. You know me. I don't No, Kev, I beg you, let me finish. Kev, let me finish. You know what's up with your case? You know how far you guys have come? If you wrong Dr. Richardson, like you wrong her. You apologize secretly in the back, apologize publicly, let's move on. Stop the tabata about who are you wrong. You wrong the hard table, you can go there every day and swallow fufu. You wrong Mariah Yakula, that your sister, you can talk to her. You wrong Charlene Bronski, it's up to you. You got one person that you are trying to destroy her life. I'm not talking about me. And you know, everything you ever said was a bloody lie. You know that. You slept in that place, that presidential suite with me and my father-in-law, 3 rooms. Now, one day, Dr. Richardson and myself were alone. And because of you, Abraham was going to leave his wife. And you were going to destroy that family, all because of protecting George Manawea. Why you couldn't take your fight with me? Kev, I said this before and I will say it again. Then I love you like brothers. Seriously. You're the only person who had a cell phone with my wife and you could call her anytime. What you did was absolutely wrong. You all open apologies to Dr. Richardson. This network belongs to the people, it's not me. I would have never done that to your wife, to your children, to your daughter. You know that. I protected them. A lot of people say, don't talk to Kev. For what? I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I would talk to anyone. But I will not take what you did to Dr. Richardson, your husband. If it wasn't for God, Kev, and I brought you here openly. I know it's in court. I know how far I have gone. I know what you asked Dr. Richardson to do. But George Manuel Weah, 100% believe in my heart. He didn't agree with you. What you say about Dr. Richardson. You didn't say about women of Liberia. John Morlu, yeah. You didn't even say about Sister Esther and Mother Teresa. You said to destroy Dr. Richardson. Own up to it. Be a man.
But you will give me a chance.
Right? I will give you a chance, Kev. Okay. If you want us to fight on politics, we can fight on politics any day.
I'm not worried. Our distinguished guest.
No. He followed me. I spoke to John, brother. I spoke to John, and John will understand because you know what? So many women out there call Dr. Richardson. So many of them. They cry with her. They pray with her. You said indirectly she was in crossfire. Crossfire where?
Okay, well, stand on. Leave that.
Be a man. What you say in the back, say up front, let's move on. If you don't want to say, I'm not forcing you, but don't be here and kind of patronize me and say, my brother, we are political. Yeah, everybody know you my brother, but don't patronize me. I'm not here for you to patronize me. You dance for this story, we remove Joe, we are from power. Okay. You dance for this story, there is no more Samuel Tuet. You dance for this story, there is no more Jefferson Koji. You dance for this story with DJ, we are 2029. Don't sit there and talk about that.
Okay, Stanton, listen to this. This is not about Dr. Richardson. I spoke about Dr. Richardson. I'm not going to go further into it because the case is in court.
Get a man chance. I beg you.
Yes. The case is in court. I'm not going to discuss about it.
Okay.
I spoke with Dr. Richardson behind the scene, and I know what we talk. And I will leave this on the issue with Dr. Richardson. I will get into politics. I will leave the Dr. Richardson on the issue with Dr. Richardson. She's a decent woman. There is no, and I will say it clearly, there is no connection or any connection, without relationship with you and Dr. Richardson. Period. Finish. End of the story. I'm done with it. You and Dr. Richardson don't have no connection. No relationship. Period. You don't have it. Period. I finish with it. Let's go into politics. I will move further into that.
Okay.
The reason I came to Spoon because I no longer recognize my network. I no longer recognize. Hey, stop.
The people want to hear from John.
No.
Stand on where I beg you.
Yeah, stand on.
Let Kev talk.
Yeah. I no longer recognize my network. I sat down in the back and I watched my network. A network that had.
Now you're saying there is no connection between Dr. Richardson and myself. So what you said for that was a lie.
You're not finishing.
Why you stopping me, Katema?
You're trying too hard.
Can you give me this?
No, you're trying too hard.
I'm not trying too hard. You run around all the radio stations.
Let me finish what I'm saying. You're trying too hard. Let me say this, right? I sat down and I watched my network. My network, Kiatamba, Ben Savvy, Tommy George, Dr. Peabody, my sweetheart, my darling, Dr. Richardson.
The guy's under the influence, John Badu. The guy's under the influence of it.
Let me finish, man. My people, these are people with dignity and character. And I saw you, Stanton. You brought people on this network. You brought a political hustlers on this network.
And then you're going to try to distract. My man, let me move on.
No, my man. No, my man. You brought political hustlers. You brought people.
We gotta respect. We gotta respect. The panelists are on the show. They're not political hustlers. No. Hold on 1 minute. The panelists on this show, the panelists on the spoon, that way they are not political hustlers. Hold on, we'll come back to you. We have to excuse John for a bit. Kev, we gotta excuse John for a bit because let's take question. You're gonna stay. We're not leaving you.
Yes,
Pause a minute. Let me say this. That I'm not saying they are political hustler. We'll tell you who the real hustlers are. So, John, let's bring you back, John. It's very important. Thank you for readjusting. The folks want to ask you a question, John. You make a lot of news. Sorry for the sideway because we needed to give Kev the time. He's been asking for too long. Let me say this, folks. I want to be fair. I spoke to Dr. Richardson. Her husband is aware. Dr. Richardson is aware that Kev was coming on today. Madam Titi, the CEO, she's fully aware that Kev was coming on today. Okay, so we are not making anything new. Everybody is aware. So let me ask you a question, John.
I would say that Dr. Richardson is a decent woman.
I mean, Kev will come to you.
Decent woman. She's a friend of mine. She's a decent woman. I will keep that.
Okay, John Madu, let me continue this with you quickly.
The phone line.
Yeah, that's where we're going. I want to bring John Madu in. Yeah. So John, the issue. But before we go to the phone line, let me give you 2 minutes, John. You have said a lot today. You have said a lot. So you came on the show, right? People know that you're just a Bwaka nephew, like every one of us, right? But you have put a lot of fire out there. So we really want you to understand now. Talk to the people, not your closing, but take 2 minutes to paraphrase everything. Then we'll go to the phone line, and the people themselves want to speak to you, Honorable Morlu.
Okay, well, thank you. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
All right. Kev came on, and my computer went. So I'm glad to be back. I want to summarize my position in this way. Joe Walker was elected, and we make no regret in electing Joe Walker at the age of 80 to set a path for genuine reform, genuine transformation, and accountability and the rule of law in Liberia. Like I enunciated very clearly, we believe then, and I still do, that we can still help Joe Walker reach our final destination. But in the final analysis, it is only Joe Walker who is ultimately responsible to make the transformation that is required to get Liberia where it is. I can give hundreds and hundreds of recommendations and solutions on how we move the country forward, how we go about getting private investment into the country and creating jobs, how we go about doing government reform and asset recovery and all of those things. Many of the ideas that I'm talking about today, you all already know. I am not telling any Liberian anything that they already don't know. The solutions and the recommendations are in abundance in Liberia. What has been lacking is leadership, the tune at the top. And we believe that Joe Walker represented that break from the past. And we're going to hold him to account for his stewardship of the country. It is the right thing to do, because if you love and care for somebody like I do with Joe Walker, you have to be able to look in his eyes and say, Joe Walker, you are going wrong. You're my uncle, I will respect you, but I think you are heading in the wrong direction. If I don't do that, it will be a dereliction of my responsibility as a nephew and as a Liberian who want to see the country move forward. So I am not here to praise or denigrate Joe Walker. I make no apology for anything I've said. I stand by them 100%. Joe Walker came for change. And if he doesn't change, I said it during the campaign, we will force Joe Walker to change. If we got to rescue Joe Walker from Joe Walker, we're going to have to rescue Joe Walker from Joe Walker. That's just fair to the Liberian people. So, Stanton, that's my summary. And we're going to continue to beat the drum. We're going to continue both in private and public to tell Joe Walker, these are the things we promised the Liberian people, and therefore you should deliver on those things. And there's no turning back. And I think Joe Walker, just to learn, and I think Joe Walker has said two things that I think we all should remember and hold accountable. Where is that Liberia final destination? And we want to see that Liberia final destination. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John Morlu. It's important for us to say to you, John S. Morlu, that you are always welcome on Spoon. We're going to go to the nation. We're going to open the phone line. Dama Slanger, can you please come on? We're going to open the phone line and people are going to ask you their question. Please, folks. Your question should be directed to John Morlu, not Kev Hassan. Okay? We're going to do post analysis. Please, please, please. For the sake of God, allow your question to go to John Morlu, not Kev Hassan. After John Morlu leaves, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Kev Hassan and the whole Hoodoo Bai if you want to ask him questions. But we're just here for John Morlu. He's the guest. 7,285 individuals still following us live. We got so many comments. We want to say John Morlu brought the numbers in. John Morlu makes some headlines. I know it will be on tomorrow papers. We want to say we appreciate you. Let's open the phone line. I would take the first one from here. Let's take 10 from my phone. Then we go to Morovia and take 10. Your name and where are you joining us from, please? We're not hearing you, Abdullah. We are not hearing you.
Okay.
Excuse me. Hold on 1 minute, please. Abdullah, what were you saying?
No, go ahead. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you now. I can hear you. What are you saying? Are we good? All right, go ahead now. Your name and where you joining us from?
My name is Caleb Gonlo. I'm calling to ask my friend and brother John Morlu. John, how you doing?
I'm all right, Caleb. How are you?
Go ahead, Calabu.
Okay, so my question is, in our system of government, legislators, some of them are business owners. Like if you look at the Western cluster, the lifting of iron ores, we've heard confirmed information that many lawmakers are owners of the trucks that the company is using. If you go in the southeast, Golden Verona, the oil palm company there, many of the lawmakers are owner of these trucks. You go to ArcelorMittal, many lawmakers are owner of trucks. They are doing business concessionaires, companies.
Can you get to your question? You got 30 seconds,
So my question is, John, what is your opinion on this? Should lawmakers be involved in business, particularly doing business with companies that they have the oversight to review their concession agreement with government?
Thank you. We're going to take one more real quick. We want to say your name and where you joining us from.
My name is Zap, and I'm calling from Ottawa, Canada.
Go ahead, talk to us. You got 30 seconds, sir.
Mr. Morlu, thank you. I love your comments here today, and you spoke well. And I don't have a question for you. I just wanted to say these are the kind of people that we need in Liberia. These are men that we need to stand up for. I've made everything they stood up for yesterday. Today, you can stand up and tell Joe Baka in his face that, look, if you don't change, we can change you. Thank you, Mr. Morlu. We look forward to seeing a better Liberia. Thank you, Stanton, for the show always.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Let me take this one. Your name, and where you joining us from, please.
Good evening, Stanton, and let's say good evening to Mr. Morlu. My name is Stephen Gordo, and I join you from Delaware this evening.
You got 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Let me appreciate Mr. Morlu for his very articulation, but I want to ask you, since the accession of Joseph Human Burger administration, I want you to name me 3 positive suggestions that you made to GMB that he didn't listen to you. Thank you.
I'm sorry if you were watching. I think he did. He named those. He recommended those issues, and I hope he can go back and play the tape. But thank you for your call in. All right, your name and where you joining us from?
My name is Emmanuel Mark, and I'm calling from Philadelphia.
Talk to you, Emmanuel.
Good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'm more concerned about the auditing team in order to retrieve money and resources that have been taken from Liberia, especially when it comes to
money that was sent internationally to other countries. What can the government do, or how can they put it into place to retrieve those funds that are in other banks? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your name and where you joining us from?
My name is Musa Keita, Stanton's friend. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Talk to me.
So I want to ask Mr. Morlu, how is he viewing the legislation and mainly the Senate? They're going to post they put on with a retreat, and Amara Kone and Alexa the guy that they're putting on the foot of the government, those who supported the rescue government, the rescue agenda, are also criticizing the rescue agenda and making suggestions. What is the view on the guys in the Senate?
Thank you very much, Stanton friend Musa Keita. Let me take, how many now is this? Call number 6, right? Your name and where you joining us from? Your name and where are you joining us from?
Anton, I'm calling from UK. My name is Mo Katamba. First of all, hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you, so go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to thank Honorable Morlu for his brilliant comment tonight. I'm a big fan of you. I just wanted to know whether he is secretly talking to the committee that was set by the president, to collect all those, stealing funds in Liberia.
You're talking about the asset recovery, right?
Yeah, exactly. Asset recovery team.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Number is call number 1 now. Have I passed? Or no?
That 8 there.
That 8? All right. So we're gonna listen, folks. 30 seconds, please. We gotta go to Monrovia, Liberia, please. Please, you just went off. It wasn't me. It was from your end. So again, let me take this call real quick. Please talk into the phone, folks. All right. So the number is Dama refused to put my number up. Somebody just said it. He put only his studio number up. Your name and where are you joining us from? Hello. Your name and where are you joining us from?
Hello, good evening. My name is Franklin Bauer, and I'm calling from New York City.
Talk to us, Franklin.
Thank you for taking my call. I want to also extend thanks to you for bringing A.G. Morlu on the show. A.G. Morlu is one of the few Liberian professionals out here that I respect so highly. He made reference to 5 different memoranda he has written to President Boakai, and the first of which he said was a methodology that he suggested to the president concerning appointments. So the question I have for Mr. Morlu is, we all know that it was an alliance that won the election, and that those individual members of the alliance, like for instance, Yobli Kanga, Ibrahim Dillon on one hand, Prince Johnson and Jamaica on another hand, were definitely suggesting or nominating their people for appointment. So I just want to know from Mr. Morlu whether implementing such methodology wouldn't have fomented more confusion in the alliance, than peace. Because if you look at the practical reality, whether John is speaking from a professional background or from a politically practical perspective, I just wanted to throw a little bit of light on that.
Thank you very much, folks. From my end, the calls come to our end. We want to appreciate you. If you call it down, you can call the number up in Monrovia. Diamond, let's go ahead, but we'll give John a chance to answer the first 10 callers here from the diaspora. John?
Okay, well, some of the questions were similar. Let me take the first one from Kalabu Gonglo. There is nothing wrong constitutionally for a legislature to own a business. In Virginia, the Attorney General legislature own business. The problem is when the same legislature is passing a concession contract and their interest is invested in it and they don't recuse themselves and disclose it. Okay, this is why during the transition, if you look at our LETI report, LETI, the Liberal Extractive Industry Initiative report, one of the things that LETI is recommending and we support is third-party beneficiaries. I think there's a new law in America too that has that, and it's a law now in almost every country. We want to know who are the true owners of these entities in Liberia. From 2008 to now, I have not been able to identify even who owned the banks in Liberia. And believe it or not, that is creating a problem for American banks to go to Liberia because you don't know the beneficial owners in Liberia. So we recommended that to President Joe Biden that one of the law we need to pass, particularly in the LITI, when it comes to the extractive industry, is beneficial ownership. We don't have that in Liberia right now. So it's all secrecy, unfortunately. So Kalabu, in terms of conflict of interest, is forbidden by the Constitution, is wrong because we don't know who really owns what in Liberia. And I can tell you on an international level, at the bigger level, that is impacting the country more. And I said that in 2008 at the GMA meeting, and May Junes were fighting me that everybody know who owns what in Liberia. It was taking me even a long time, and Kalabu, you know this, to even find out who owns LBDR. That was a big fight. A government entity. Nobody could tell me who owns it and how the shares were transferred from 1980 all the way to now. So to answer your question, it is not necessarily illegal for legislature to have a business, but it is wrong and probably illegal constitutionally if they were to engage in conflict of interest and don't disclose their ownership. The other people ask about asset recovery, what I'm talking to them, and no, I know that almost everyone on the asset recovery team. The manner in which they went by the asset recovery, you can see the hoopah and the back and forth within the asset recovery. I don't think it's an asset recovery. I think it's a committee, right, that was set up to actually do what's supposed to be asset recovery. Asset recovery doesn't function the way Uncle Joe set it up or President Barker set it up. He needs to go back and undo that and do it right. Because that's a standard, that's an international standard and protocol, how you set up an asset recovery. Until we do that, America is not going to cooperate with you. Because it looks like you're putting up a committee with civil society representation, that representation. That's not asset recovery. That's just another Liberian way of doing things. So unfortunately, I'm not going to get myself involved in something that is not done right. So no, I have not been talking to them secretly. And I shouldn't be talking to the people secretly about anything anyway. What's the other one? Criticizing. People who are criticizing in the legislature, who are criticizing. Liberians got to move away from objective assessment and people taking position and calling it criticism and being critical. Accountability is difficult. Transparency is difficult. And when you challenge somebody to be transparent, they always say you are critical or you are criticizing. So I think we need to change that from our language and allow people to actually question things. I can tell you when I went to Liberia, there was no budget report, right? Katamba Extension. I got to Liberia, nobody had ever seen a Liberian budget. Nobody had ever seen an audit report. I took my own money, went to all the newspapers and published it. They say I was criticizing the government. No, but today, every Liberian is happy to see a budget and debate it. Every Liberian is happy to see an audit report. So when Amar Kone and other people are criticizing criticizing the government, no, they are exercising their oversight responsibility, and let's applaud them for doing that. Okay, the alliance nominating. This is a very good question. Don't get me wrong, I'm a professional. I wanted for all to have recruitment, vetting, onboarding, and placement of people. That's a professional thing to do. Anywhere in the world, not just America and Liberia, you should be able to employ people correctly and onboard them. The political challenge was every Liberian election is a compromise election. But I can tell you this time around, I asked Uncle Joe, let's do the vetting, but people are going to resist it. Uncle Joe asked me to go and talk to them. Yombly Kanga was not opposed to vetting. Prince Johnson was not opposed to vetting. Losini Kamara was not opposed to vetting and recruitment. In fact, those people felt it would make their life easy if they could send people to a centralized location instead of people going to their houses. So I don't want to blame Yombly. I don't want to blame Dillon. I don't want to blame other people. This is the first time that I believe that Prince Johnson, Yombly, and everybody that supported Joe Barker actually wanted some type of vetting.
But who are opposed then? Who are opposed?
Okay, so let me tell you, Stanton, this is what happened, okay? And this is a true story. Joe Barker wasn't opposed to it until January 22nd on the inauguration. What Joe Barker agreed to do was, and he must say, John, I will appoint the first 5 ministers. And after that, everybody go through vetting. What happened, Stanton? Joe Buckeye, something happened on inauguration day. People rush to Joe Buckeye, let deflect attention. Joe Buckeye appoint more than 5 people. Youngly then stay waiting, and everybody stay waiting. But what really got everybody pissed off when Joe Buckeye appointed Jonathan Massacre. I don't know whether you remember that.
Yeah, Justice Minister.
Okay, when Joe Buckeye appointed Jonathan Massacre, it was the time Speaker Talon, Jonathan Piney, and what's his name? Youngly Kanga, you know, it was that day. They all descended on Joe Buckeye. And told Joe Buckeye, well, say you appointing people without our knowledge, we want to be involved. And Joe Buckeye washed his hair off and said, you want to go appoint, you go appoint. And I said to him,
No, John, I know you're answering the people question, but Ketema, we can't take this. You got to set this story straight, John. Joe Buckeye didn't surrender to lawmakers out of frustration. Is that what you're telling us?
No, I'm not saying out of frustration, but if you remember the Jonathan Massacre day.
I remember. Jonathan Massacre was from Fonatikofa office.
Yes, it was that day.
Jonathan Massacre came from the blue to say, President Baraka said, you will be my justice minister. People went, wow, are you kidding me? This Jonathan Massacre guy? We understand that, but now, set the story straight. Are you saying when Youngly then went to him, he put his hand up and he put a white flag, he pulled a white flag and said, no, I'm not going to do it. You can handle it?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling us?
That's what I'm saying. And that's what transpired. And after that, I think he ran in Front Page Africa everywhere where they say the legislature take over. But honestly, at that point, I couldn't blame them because we had an informal agreement. People go through vetting. All of a sudden, you're going through the back door and appointing people. So that how everything just, how you call it in Liberia, scatter, right? That how everything just messed up. And after that day, everything just went haywire and nothing again came to an arrangement. But I don't think Youngly Kanga got up in the morning and said, I'm just going to nominate everybody or Speaker Talon. So at that point, once the mistake was made.
Let me ask John Morlu a question. John Morlu.
Let you finish answering the question that folks asked. You will have some time. Okay.
So in summary, yes, I did understand the political tea leaf and the political arrangement. But I'm also a smart person to negotiate behind the scene with the key political people for them to understand that confidence was important. We needed to demonstrate Liberian people that people will actually be vetted. Right? And I can't imagine Youngly Kanga say no or Dallas Dillon. None of these people said no. But until that Jonathan Massacre incident happened, everything just went off the wall after that. So that's my answer to that question.
Okay.
Thank you. Can we bring in
Full line?
Let me ask him quick.
Kev, I want to give you the time after the phone call. You will come back. Just pause for your question, please. Damo, can you come? Let's take the calls from Liberia, please. It's very important.
Yes, sir. I can do that. 0555-101075. 0777-101075. Remember, your questions are not directed at Kev Hassan or to Kev Hassan now. There will be a time for you. Just go straight to former AG Morlu and ask him your question or make a comment. Hello? Kindly reduce the volume of your radio. Please do that. The feedback is terrible. Good. Go ahead, please. Mm-hmm.
Yes, good evening to my friend. My question going to Jomo. When you do appointed by Waka, is he going to come back to ready government?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's take this person here. Hello? Hello? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Jim Martin.
Go ahead. Go straight to your question, please.
Yeah, my question to Mr. Morlu is he rated Madam Seri government 3 times corrupt and President Williams government. Now, when it comes to Joseph Baka, I haven't heard him say anything concerning Joseph Baka's government. So what's his position? Because I understand that you are like for Joseph Baka, and he proved that he put to a position that he was I'm a person with a good character, so I want to hear from you tonight.
All right, sir. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Let's hear you out, please.
Yeah, is this Spoon?
Spoon, go ahead, sir.
Oh, yes. It's Kalekuha from Spoon's over. Hello?
Sir, you live. Kindly go to your question, please.
Yeah. I learned what a spoon that is best price is $19. You go to see about SC Johnson when I take plus so you buy the rest of $2,400. We will compare with $195. It will get me $17.50.
Okay, sir.
I don't know which committee the rest price is $19, but still about SC Johnson.
All right, thank you.
And also, there are more mentioned something about the speculation on the corruption issue, corruption in Liberia. I don't think he said that there is speculation, public perception. I don't think he said directly that the government's right now is corrupt. So I want for them to elaborate on that.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, let's take this next person. Hello. Hello. Okay, lost that person there. Hello.
Hello.
You live? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm in Manachi calling from the market there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my question is Morlu is he have been observing the GNB government for the let's say for the first 6 months. How you think that we are going to stay at better expectations to see how the government improve our livelihood in the country?
Thank you. Improvement of livelihood. This person here. Hello.
Good evening.
You live? Go ahead, please.
Yeah,
make that the last person, please.
You sir?
Thomas H. Bauer, and I call you from EFWA.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that I'm just consulting the president, our speaker, because I'm from Wasonga, that he should agree with Morlu on the 4 key issues that he discussed with him. Other than that, if he wants to see his own downfall and his own legacy go down in drain, he should abide by John Morlu's advice. Other than that, things will be very, very optimistic. And we are optimistic that, we want, good from him. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you as well for calling. So that does it for this round of calls. We'll definitely return to the phone lines. It's over to you, Mr. Stanton. Alexander will respond. You muted.
Go ahead, Kev.
Muted. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you to all the callers. Before our distinguished guest Morlu will answer those questions, but so far, Morlu, you've done a wonderful job. People are up, listening, and so give us response to some of those questions and do a summary. But before you answer your question, you use the word we. Will rescue. If it's me, we'll rescue Baka from Baka. Who are the we? The Morlu have a special group. It's Morlu Team 2029. Is that a team that will rescue?
Let Morlu let he do his closing. We'll talk to him another time. Let's have a rumble, man.
Well, Kev, so did that right with the Kev got to
This guy is on the So I'll give you the chance to address the question. Kev, 1 minute. The people just asked questions. Let's allow Morlu to answer this question. Honorable Morlu.
Yeah, Kev, we love you back. Don't worry, we'll talk. All right, so I wrote down the question. Let me answer them quickly. If you are appointed by Joe Boakai, will you be committee? Well, everybody know my history. I was in early city government, I commented, and I fought the system. I fight in or outside the system because my issues are principle driven. They're based on what I believe to be right and just. I might not always be right, but I fight for those things. particularly when it comes to accountability, corruption, and rule of law issues. For almost 27 years, since the day of Taylor, we've been fighting for the same issues, and I'm never going to bend on that issue because I'm going to die people remembering me for standing up for those issues. And I will never compromise myself whether Joe Walker would have made me prime minister or not prime minister, because my records show that I have been in government before, appointed and making a lot of money and still comment. And I lost that job because I still comment, and I'm still living after I lost that job. Government 3 times corrupt. Everybody always want that. I was really trying hard not to bring in Ellen Salif because we are all in sympathy with the loss of our son, who we all know and cherish and love. But Stanton and Katamba and Kev, I said Ellen government was 3 times corrupt almost a year and a half after Ellen had been in power. So you put that in perspective. I never went out there and made Joe Weir government 3 times corrupt. I said a lot of negative things against Joe Weir government, but I'm consistent. Wait for me, let Joe Walker spend another year, go on to 2 years. If they continue this and we gather enough information, I can tell you I'll be in a better position to do that. But I cannot do that now because Joe Walker, have already told you, have made so many missteps that he needs to correct. And you expect every administration that comes to power to make these mistakes. But the only mistake that Joe Biden need to correct quickly is not how many rules he built or what schools he built, is governance issue. The issue of public perception. I think Yatamba started this conversation by saying confidence. Public confidence in people is important. And I told President Boakai and then Uncle Joe, when you get to power, you got 2 years to make an impact. You got 2 years to demonstrate seriousness. After 2 years, the public will forgive you. But don't let public perception crystallize that whether you are in control of the government or not in control of the government, whether you are repeating job with a mistake or you not repeating job with a mistake, whether you are corrupt or not corrupt. I can tell you one thing that stick on Liberians, and every Liberian president, from Totman to Edwin J. Barclay to Tobot to Doe, consistently we say, Joe, we are corrupt. Whether people prove it or not, perception is reality. And especially if you are making these kind of obvious missteps. So Joe Barker needs to understand that you don't want Liberian people to believe that your government is zigzag, your government is disorganized, your government is still corrupt, your government is incompetent. Once people begin to believe that, it's going to be very difficult for them to forgive you. And your legacy of building their final destination will be in ruin. The other people, I take your advice. I hope Joe Barker can listen to me. I hope people can take whatever we say in good faith or in bad faith. The difference is the reality of Liberia goes through accountability, transparency, and the rule of law. And Joe Barker arrest agenda, that slogan, completely leave out accountability and transparency, the two important legs of a democracy. Without them focusing on accountability and holding themselves accountable, I don't see how we move forward as a nation. I don't see how we create jobs. I don't see how we build schools. I don't see how we build hospitals. I don't see how we get to that final destination. So there's nothing Joe Barker can do but to go back to the drawing board and really conceptualize what kind of government he wants to leave behind when he's dead and gone. Because in the final analysis, we are all going to die, or we all going to leave this planet. But you want to leave the planet and say, this is why I left Liberia. That final destination, I put them on a path towards that. And if we don't do that, Kev Hassan and his group of people are going to be right back in the government. And then we'll be all set back again. And this is not just a joke. This is not just a political statement. This is a reality. Let's do the right thing. Let's hold each other accountable. Let's challenge each other. Let's accept each other approaches. Kiatamba. Everybody cannot say John Morlu approach is bad, but that approach is good. They have to be able to accept me for who I am. The same way they want me to accept them. It cannot be a one way. It cannot be a one-way direction. They love me and like me and praise me before election. Then they trash me after election. That's inconsistency. If you don't like me forever. I don't expect everybody on the planet to like me. But Stanton, I want to say thank you. And I want to thank all the Liberian people that supported Joe Walker to become president. Do not regret. We are 6 months into the government. Joe Walker, that I know, is going to make a course correction. And if he doesn't, then we have to make him do it. Because it is good for Joe Walker that he leave behind a legacy for all of us. And too many times we allow president to come in. We say, oh, let's give the people a chance. Let's give the people a chance. Give somebody a chance in building the roads in Liberia. Don't give them a chance on corruption and incompetence and lack of deliverables. Don't give them a chance if they don't have a term of reference. Hold them accountable because they are serving the public. If they do not want to be accountable, let them be like me. Come back in the private sector like Stanton. Go out there and do your own business. Then you're only accountable to yourself and your investors. But if you're holding public office, you got to be accountable. And the struggle in Liberia, Stanton, is struggle with accountability, struggle with transparency, struggle with the rule of law. And the foundation of all of that is the president. And if Joe Walker wants Liberia to be better off today, Joe Walker will make Liberia better off today. If Joe Walker said Liberia will not be better off, Liberia will not be better off. The fish right from the head. And every good governance principle, whether the principles in America or UK or South Africa or Singapore, all good governance principles says the fish right from the head, the tune at the top. So Joe Walker has to set that tune. And if he doesn't, if Joe Walker said we all must go in the private sector, we all will go in the private sector. If Joe Walker said we all should go out there and become engineers, I'm sure we all will try to be engineers. But Joe Walker must set that direction. And for me, Stanton, I haven't seen that on the economy. I don't know what the government strategy is in terms of job creation. I don't know what the government strategy is in terms of financing the country. I don't know what the government strategy is in terms of doing anything. And like Michael Porter, the key strategists on this planet say, if a man does not have strategy, he will try anything. So Joe Walker should come up with a strategy, or else it will be zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John S. Morlu the second. Want to appreciate you. Want to really appreciate you. I'm going to come for post analysis. I'm going to bring in Ambula Mame, who will help that to digest and take care of in every aspect, every session of what you said. I think you know your brother Mame. Ketema and myself will go into this thing again. The Liberian people will hear us. It is very important that after 6 months, after the 100 days, here come John Morlu. You know, a lot of people are appreciating you tonight, John, to tell you the truth. You have other people disagreeing with you. By the end, within the next 90 days, we will have you again.
Thank you.
Then we'll make sense of most of this stuff. So I really appreciate you. We ran behind you from Ghana, from Togo, from Bangladesh, and all over. So when am I seeing you? Let me openly say that before Ketema take it away from me. When am I seeing you?
Yeah, you want me to make a promise?
No, don't do on the show. I'm just messing with you. You have anything to say? Yeka Mame, we'll appreciate it.
Yeah, John, thank you so much. This has been one of our best shows for since they won all the CEOs. You bring so much value. You kept a lot of people up at night tonight in Monrovia to listen to you. So that says a lot. It is a confidence people have in your voice. It is a powerful statement about your leadership and the place you occupy in people's hearts in the country. So I think you should take that very important. You know, I just want to say thank you for giving us the chance to be the one to interview you, to be the one to break the news. Thank you so much. You've done so much for our country, and we always appreciate you. Thank you for your leadership. And you're easy guy to do it. And one thing I like about you, you come on. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Bye-bye. You're going tomorrow. Thank you.
I can
listen, I don't know why you say keeping careful on the show, Ketema, but Yeka Mame, let's do post analysis.
Don't put Kev problem on me.
Let me say this so everyone. Kev came on the show to make a statement, okay?
Where are we with that?
This over and over. This is the people's network. This thing came into being from nowhere. Let's focus on the conversation for today. The way forward, Madam Titi, those people that hold this network will make a decision whether Kev is coming back or not. But for tonight, Kev is here. Abdullah, you have never sat on the same platform with Kev Hassan, but you listen to the great show today from Honorable John Morlu. I am where I am right now with the information that John Morlu has provided. So many takeaways. The leaders of the country said it's a lie. War crime code is going nowhere. They're just doing it because the people asking for it. Alan White is pissed off. He's mad. He's frustrated. The problem within the country that the president put his hand up because of the appointment of Jonathan Massacre and said, well, you can handle this, and the lawmakers took over. The different issue that John Morlu laid out today, that if we continue on this track, former President George Manaware will be the next president in 2029. A lot of takeaway. I don't know where you want to start. Ketema. Then we'll bring in. You're going to give it up to Mambe and Kev Hassan with our piece. But again, we're here for another maybe 10, 15 minutes, and we're going to wrap this up. Ketema.
Yeah. Mambe, man, thanks for coming, man. We appreciate your coming.
Yeah,
I'm excited when Stato says you're coming. But look, on a larger note, I think he did what we expect him to do. He does not underperform, and that's a good thing about him. He does not underdeliver, and I think that he breaks news, and his thoughts are profound. He is a deeper assessment than the superficial assessment we do often about looking at the issues from all angles. And he has a ringside seat at the beginning, and I think this is also a clarion call to the president. They need to reflect about the direction of things, or save things because it is too late to be saved. And I think he said all of that, he packaged all of that. But Mama is looking from inside in and from outside in, so we'll give him a chance to share his perspective. And he'll go around the room. He was Stenton. I think you felt something. We want to experience what you felt. You heard something differently, and something about what he said influenced something.
I'm so surprised. So I know you go to Mame is for Joe Morlu that raised almost $500,000 for this president, that travel all over begging people to tell us on this biggest network that if we continue on this track, George Manaware will be the next president. I am solely surprised, Mame. You can take it away.
Yeah, when you get children in the house and you always want to scare them, our parents used to do, if you don't study your lesson, I will beat you. They don't hate you. They're only telling you something that you're afraid of to push you to study your lesson. When John Morlu said, and other people can always say, if Baka doesn't perform, George Weah will come back. It's just a statement to put fear and push Baka to do the right thing. But that analysis is between Baka and Weah, like between the parent and the child. If you don't study, I will beat you. If you don't wash your clothes, I will beat you. John Morlu and people who make those statements are making it with the intention to put Baka under pressure to do the right thing. But they're not looking into the psyche of the Liberian people. Stanton, have a conversation with Liberians. They're looking for change. They're desperate for solution. They want jobs. They want better livelihood. They want a government that is transparent and accountable, a government that is respectable. They want a system that gives them hope. That was what they've been looking for all through. They've been trying, testing and trying. They tried Weah, he let them down, he failed them. They tried Baka, if Baka fails them, they will not go back to failure. They will move forward with another solution. So to say, if Baka doesn't perform, Weah will come back, it's just a statement of fear to push Baka to do the right thing. But go back and look into the psyche of Liberians. What are they looking for? They're looking for change. They're desperate for change.
Why would John Morlu make such a statement now, though? 6 months into this thing, why John Morlu? He have taken the conversation to a whole another level, and this is giving hope to Kev Hassan and CDC, though.
It's a their hope. It's a their hope. The reason why it's a their hope is Liberian will not vomit and lick it. It's a their hope. The change they're looking for, and it is not about we are as a person. It's about the mindset of governance that we are has. It doesn't have to be we are. Anybody that have that mindset that you can run government irresponsibly, that you cannot create private sector jobs, that you cannot run transparent, accountable government. Once you have that mindset in Liberia, know you have that mindset. The possibility of you coming to power is unlikely.
Is that also I beg you, Ketema? Let me push you one more. Ketema, I beg you, because I know you want to go.
No, I want to respond to him.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to Kev. Let me say this. Is that also their hope for the Unity Party or the alliance?
Ketema, can I come in?
No, Kev, I beg you. Let me finish with Mami. Is that also because it seems not to be a hope for Unity Party and their alliance, though?
Oh no, it is not a hope for them. It is a statement of fear that Morlu sent to them. But what is being misinterpreted on the other side is, oh yeah, we're coming to come back to power. I'm saying no. Liberians are looking forward to better solutions.
So here's what I'll say. I wanted to analyze all issues, but my attention is.
Can I come in for you?
Hold on 1 second. I'll come in. But my attention is drawn to two things. Ambulai said, which I fundamentally disagree. One is Liberian people are vomited and licked before. Unity Party was kicked out. Unity Party came back. Liberian people are vomited and licked before.
No. I think Ketema is right, my man.
But at the mistake Ketema making.
Let me finish. Let me finish. No. I'm saying Martin, hold on 1 second. Liberian people are vomited and licked before.
And the scene the alcohol is bad. That's why they will not do it again.
Relax yourself. Chill. The second aspect is he did not say he's trying to pour fear in Joseph Boakai. The man said, I'm doing a realistic assessment. The man look at the political reality. The second largest party is CDC. It's numerical. This is not theoretical, fanciful analysis. You look at numerical, look at the elections. This was the closest elections in a long time. So he's not talking about fanciful thing in the air. You're looking at realistic assessment. For you, as a supporter of Baga, it is easy to comfort yourself, to provide solace for yourself, but making it low like, hey, that's a statement of fear. Help you to look like, yes, Joe, we're not coming to power. But for that man, it's a realistic assessment. What you're doing an effective political spinning, which is a nice spinning.
No,
but only provide you comfort.
It's not spinning.
It doesn't do anything.
No, it's not spinning.
Let Ketema finish, guys. I beg you. I know it will be. Let me come in. No, be careful. Let Ketema finish.
Ketema, I'll be going on in the next 3 minutes. Just give me 1 minute.
No, I don't want Mommy to go out.
One of my favorite guys.
Mommy, you can't do this. You can't come on the show and say you won't go out. Let Ketema finish, please.
He cannot leave the NBA.
He cannot leave.
The NBA MD that ran away from the show. We cannot allow that. Cannot allow another NBA.
Can you give me a minute? Can you give me a minute?
So Mama is trying to put a good spin on the response, and I think Mama is trying to stop a potential bleeding. It could send a hope of discouragement to the Unity Party base. It could send a hope to CDC base. Mama want to disrupt that thing tonight. So Mama appearance is psychologically before the people go down. I need to work with you.
Give Ketema the chance. We'll come to you after.
I'll stop there from there for now. Go
ahead, Kev. You got one brain, Mama. Go ahead real quick.
Let me say this. Mama is confused. I have never seen a young man who's so confused like Mama. He's so confused. You listen to Morlu. He said to you, by the way the Unity Party going will bring CDC back to power. Mommy, Morlu is not saying this out of anger or because he's not getting jobs because he got a good job. We know that. He's saying that out of what he know. But by you saying this, oh, okay, see, Morlu is saying that. No, but I want you to focus on what I'm saying, right, Mommy? Morlu is saying that out of experience. By the way, Unity Party is going as we speak right now, there is no way that Unity Party we have a chance in the next election. I know.
I'm going to hold you there again. This is just our last, how you call it, our last post analysis. So let's give Mohammed a chance. We got 5 more minutes to go. We got to leave, folks. We run way over our time. 10 minutes to 7, 10 minutes to 11 in Liberia. I beg you guys, please. It was very interesting, but Mohammed, let's hear you out. Kev coming after you. Ketema coming after you. So go ahead.
About the case with analysis. I just want to bring it up. He said, Liberian vomited before the lake. What will be happening is, Liberians will be saying, we vomited before we lake the account were bad. We vomited before.
Nice spin. Okay,
exactly.
No, excuse me, Katama. You have said Liberian vomited before they lake it. So I'm saying,
but is it true though, Mama? Is it true that Liberia let the vomit before?
Oh, that was the United Party. That's
it's true. So what Katama said is true.
I come in. Let me change.
No, you gotta answer the question.
No, you have to ask me.
Yeah. What Katama said, is it true?
Oh yes, they brought United Party back to power.
Yeah, but so what's the argument now?
So I'm saying now, by 2029, Liberian will already be having statistics and data in their hand that when you vomit and if United Party doesn't perform, Liberian will be having statistics in their hand that every time we vomit,
Mommy, let me ask you this. Mommy, at the trend of Unity Party right now.
Yeah, we gotta understand ourselves, I beg you. That might be like.
Go ahead. In 2029, if United Party fails, in 2029, Liberian will be having the data in their hand that every time we vomited and leak it, the outcome can be bad. Therefore,
they put a second speed on it. They put a second speed on it.
Oh, but you don't want concluded. If the people have the data in their hand, now every time we vomited and leak it, the outcome can be bad. They will not try to vomit the lake. Therefore, they will be looking for an alternative.
You agree with my man that the people like the vomit before they did, right? Yes. And here we are again saying that the probability of them doing it again is almost 100%.
He put a nice spin on the second one.
You said no. When you said no, it will not happen.
Beautiful spin that when vomit and lick again, you want to
you got ever done a vomit and lick it?
Brother. Once you lick it, you will lick it.
No, when you lick it is sweet, then you will lick it again. But when you lick it bitter, you're not licking it again. When you lick it is sweet, you will lick it again. But when you lick it bitter, you're not licking it again.
Let me stay on that talk now.
When you lick something bitter, you will lick it again. When you lick something bitter, you will lick it again.
No, you're not licking it.
Let's go to the other issue. Let's go to the other issue very quick, and everybody will have 30 seconds, guys. Please help us. No interruption. It's very good. Folks are enjoying this post analysis, and thank you, Mami, for coming. Walk and put. The message is of black. The message is of black, Ketema. John Morlu says of black.
To be honest with you, because to be honest, look, the step Buckeye took, he went further than any other president did. He did not even elevate it to the level.
Executive order.
Executive order. So to read into that way, it could be the driving force, or one of the driving forces could be the pressure. So to respond to the pressure or to manage the pressure is to come up and get this cosmetic showmanship, hoping that it will somehow, some way give you some respite or some time to do that. But I think it will backfire eventually because these guys are looking at the fine print. They will be the fine.
Real quick, we didn't have a problem with 2029, and this man have let the cat out of the bag. He's called Youngblade name. He called Fonati Kofa, Vice President Jeremiah, President Joseph Yuma Baga. He said they all just playing game. You think these guys are going for election 2029? We'll have a serious consequence on their record.
No. Before, Mameke, let me say it to you.
I'm asking you.
Joe Buckeye is the only guy who's now running for president again. Can do some
initiative. The rest of them not running.
Should be able to do, and this is his chance. Joe
The
Buckeye
rest of them not running. Would that have a serious issue? Would that have a serious detrimental effect on their record? Say we did this, but it's a Vlad. It was a Vlad.
Because I agree, it'll be leveraged. It's a populist cause. So if people who are associated with basically misleading the public, it can be used against, it can be weaponized against their candidacy. And so don't trust them.
Let me bring Kev Hassan real quick. Welcome. Let me just have you 30 seconds. You heard from John Morlu, it's a Vlad. You believe it? You're muted, Kev. You're muted.
I think just so Imam Buckeye is trying to croak the Liberian people is a lie. He croaking the Liberian people. Just so Imam Buckeye is a game. He play games with Liberian people. It's a lie. He's not going to move forward to the war crime code.
You think Fanatikova lying to the Liberian people too? That's another Vlad?
No, Fanatikova is serious. Just so Imam Buckeye is playing games.
How can you separate them? Don't talk nonsense, yeah, man.
Because
John Morlu said Fanatikova, Youngblade, Vice President, all of them you need them. Then you can't cherry pick and say Fanatikova serious.
Ketama, I spoke with Fanatikova. He's serious. He's serious of the war crime code. Fanatikova is one of the most, I can say to Liberian people, it's one of the most effective speaker we will ever have in the history of Liberia.
Man, that's a CDC talking point there.
It's not CDC.
All right, let's go quick to Mame. Let's go quick to Mame. Mame, come in. Guys, we gotta go. Let's go to Mame. Let's hear Mame. Let's hear Mame on this one. Let's hear Mame on this one. We gotta go.
What the Joe Buckeye administration did with Senator Nyombli Kanga Lawrence in the Senate, with Fonati Kofa in the House of Representatives and his member, and the president at head of the executive, what they did with war crime code is unprecedented in the history of Liberia. I believe, I trust, I want to believe, I put my neck on the line. If they can allow them to cut it, let it allow them to do it. But I believe they are genuine, they are prepared and willing to ensure we have war crime code. They are the executive order is a genuine action. Until otherwise proven, we believe them, we trust them, we support them, we rally behind them in the fight for rural economic.
I agree with you.
Mama, what's your next takeaway? We gotta go, guys. What's your next takeaway? Abdullah will take us home. Let's do our closing real quick. It's good to have you,
my closing, before I leave in 30 seconds. My closing. Abdullah Katamba set the stage. United Party people came here, they got elected, Liberian vomited, they lick it. They're testing the lake. They're testing what the lake now. If it tastes better in their mouth, they will come to the realization that every time we vomit and lick it, it can turn bad. Therefore, they will be looking for an alternative rather than licking the vomit to put out the food. That is what I want to see.
Yeah, but Senator, let me say this to you. Do
a closer real quick, please.
Yeah, let me say it to you. Senator. You asked me a question. And why you're on Spoon?
No. Let's do a close before we come to that. Let me just close quick. Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank the audience and I'd like to thank my co-host Stanton. We did a wonderful job tonight. The show was beautiful and I like the flow, the coordination, the alignment. Wonderful. And I think it's gonna get better. We're gonna get better and we're gonna bring the best on the show. Kev, we want to make this thing good. We want to make the people wait for Sunday and get a lot of takeaway and feel hopeful that if they're looking for answer, they know where to go for the answer. That is our mission. That is the mission. There's not a rescue mission. There is an info mission. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just wondering what is Kev doing here. Kev, I don't know why you do it tonight. He just confusing the people tonight, and the people just cursing on the. But honestly,
Ketema, thank you very much. Listen,
John did a wonderful job.
We appreciate John. He did. He did it. Okay, Kevin, go. Okay, Kev, close real quick. You get 30 seconds. You are muted, man.
Kev say his platform he built is not looking to see again. That was worrying.
Listen, the platform that we built, Ketama, I will say this. I want Stanton to come on. Come on, Stanton.
I'm here, Kev. Go ahead. I'm here.
The platform, yeah, the platform that we built, right? You got Ketama. You got Ben Savvy. You got Tommy George, Peabody, Dr. Richardson. The Spoon Network was a place that we built to bring the right thing to the Liberian people. The Spoon Network was a holy place. But you know what? I sat aside and realized that the Spoon Network become a place of a Babylon. The city of Babylon.
No, man, let's do the closing of the program, man.
Hey, Mama, let me do my closing.
No, my man. Let's do the closing of the program. I gotta go, man. I gotta babysit.
Yeah, Mama, let me do my closing.
Yeah, but let's go ahead now. Let's talk about the issue that John Morlu brought up.
Hey, Mama, let me do my closing.
It's no comparison. I will not sit here. I will not sit here. You go again to talk Tabata on those people that kept the network going, those panelists that have been doing extremely good and better jobs than you ever did. I will not sit here. You come here to talk on issue. We have to go Ketema. It was a beautiful show. But I will not sit here that you denigrate my panelists. You can do that.
Okay, but let me finish. You can.
I've never spoken ill. I've never spoken ill on any one of your guys on your.
Okay,
network.
but defend them on your closing.
You asked to come here to talk about issue that you think is
argument. The message leaving closing argument. The message leaving closing argument. You say leaving.
Are you leaving closing argument?
Good question. Good question, Ketama.
Are you leaving closing argument?
I'm bringing my closing argument to my place that we belong.
They play God in Babylon.
Yeah, but listen now. Listen. No, but listen now.
But we gotta go, man.
Ketama.
Yeah.
Ketama, let me speak to you. Let me speak to you.
Okay.
This network, you have Ketama, you have Ben, you have you had Tommy George, you had Dr. Peabody, you had Dr. Richardson. Decent people who carry this network based on what the Liberian people want to hear, ideology. But when we left this platform, you know why I came back? You asked me a question why I came back. I'm coming back.
For the rescue mission.
No, I'm coming back. I'm coming back to the Spoon Network because a political hustlers came to hijack our network.
But it's unfair. Didn't get other people like that.
They are political hustlers.
My man, let me be fair. You know, I will respect anyone, including you. Kev, listen to me. I know Ketema want to go high. I beg you, listen to me. I beg you, my brother, listen to me. Mr. Hassan, listen to me. I beg you. Without even hearing you, so I just want you to listen to me. I beg you.
Yeah, but
there will be no way that you can't listen. To be serious, there will be no way. And I'm my last time telling you, brother, with all respect to any one of us, we are all of the same age group. Those folks that you call political hustlers, they kept the network going. There will be no way that you say, let me come and address the nation on the issue that kept me away from Spoon Network, and you come back to call those decent gentlemen, the decent women on the show, political hustler.
Yeah,
I
hustlers.
totally disagree with you.
Yeah,
and I don't think we'll continue that conversation. That's not a good way to do a comeback. That's not a good way to do it. I would.
Stanton, don't mute me, man. They are hustlers.
Can we
Yeah.
move going up?
But Stanton, let me say this to you. They use this network as an HR because they want power.
No, but you cannot. But listen. Your frustration.
HR.
Kev.
They are political hustlers.
They may use the network as HR. They may use the network to hustle for the job. But at the place you left, and because of them, Joseph Boakai in power today. Okay, it's not because of you.
It was a mistake.
I will stand to defend them. You are a political hustler on your way. You and your group were political hustler. You hustle your way. You went to Liberia. You didn't make it.
No.
So let's forget about this and let's discuss the issue. You understand when I go back and forth? You know me already. You understand when I go back and forth, bro. The only thing I tell you is that you came to talk about comeback. You came to talk about the issue that wants you to stay away. Leave them alone. No. I will not give you a chance because you're talking tabata. No, you're talking hustle. You're not coming with brush. You are not coming with brush, my man. Let you go, man. Leave me alone. You can't come here on the show. Can't tell me what sense that made, right? They met for months. He said, my man, I don't carry on spoon the tower on my hat. Then you can't say the people are political hustler. Let me say this to you, Ketema. Mama is not a political hustler. He's not looking for a job, right? How you call him? Prince Maxwell, or how you call him? Ed Remy or Fadika. You talk about what's his name? Asivar, even Asid. These people are not political hustler. My sister Fatima.
Not Isaac Doe.
Fatima, and you get how you call her Glennie. And most respect goes to Dr. Richardson, Aunt Mama, and every other Jackie. Those people are not political hustler. You come here to say, listen, I wrong the network, I wrong Dr. Richardson, let me can't talk about it. Then you can, no, mama, leave me alone, but let me do my closing man. Have a good evening. And you and myself will go back and forth all the while because you are totally wrong. That's not when they sit on set, and you are fortunate to be on set with them, then you might attack them. And they will respond. But in the absent, you are wrong. I think that Blue Moon is doing something for you because I saw you putting it up.
I told you long time ago.
Yeah. This guy's crazy. Ketema, it was a good show, my brother. Kev, it's good having you to be friend. And again, if you want to have that conversation with any one of them, they will not hesitate. They will come and facing you. I know these people because of the strength, because of the commitment, because of the love for Liberia and the network, the sacrifice. They're on the show every day, Monday through Saturday, to tell the Liberian people what your government couldn't tell them. Because of them, the government was removed out of power. Because of them, we beat George Manawea. Because of them, when you and your guys left, thinking that Stanton will be alone. No. I'll do my closing now, brother. I'll do my closing. Because of them, thinking that it will be all Stanton, right? Those people stood with the network. They commit themselves, and we will forever appreciate them. And they brought the change that the Liberia people asked for. In the morning, in the evening, at night, they were here. You were somewhere else. You are the main political hustler, brother. That's why you're coming back. I will say to you, I want you to take your conversation with me.
Yeah,
you are the main political hustler. You know how to write. No, but hold on, don't interrupt me. You talk. You know how to write charo. You know how to go ahead and hustle. You make your 25,000. You didn't get Ketema son. You buy yourself a new house on hustle ground. You get yourself a new BMW. You talk to former President Joe Manawea. Ketema know how much money was given to you and your group. You guys are the political hustler. Nobody in the Joseph Yuma Bwaka government can put a hand up and say the Gates Spoon Network money. We refused the 50,000 for Samuel Twe. You hustle for Samuel Twe. I took you to Liberia. I left you there. You hustle from John Manawea. Up to now, you are hustling from John Manawea. So the money laundering that John Manawea put enough money in your account to keep for him, you get yourself a house on it. We will say this thing. We will discuss this. Don't call my guys political hustler. They are faithful men and women. They are professional. Granny is here working. She doesn't need a job. Let me finish. She doesn't need a job in Liberia. She's here. A decent woman working, making good money. Dr. Richardson refused all the offers. She's here. She's happily married with her children, working a decent job. You know that. You got who you got? You got mommy. You're working for World Bank. He said, I'm not going to Liberia. Let's name them. Fatima is working. Gonna Grace say, I'm not going, I'm good, I'm here. Ava say, I'm here, I'm not going, I will do what I do best. Who do you call a political hustler? People that get job? People that stay in America working? Who are you pointing to call political hustler? Let's go back and dig in your backyard. How many of your guys working? How many of your guys not hustling from President Weah and he tired giving them money? Kev, it's not a mistake you are here, brother. If we bring the conversation, we'll remind you, and we'll remind you correctly. Again, you're always welcome. It's up to you and Madam Titi. You can talk to her every day. Ketema, one-on-one with the CEO is powerful. People love it. I want to say thank you to you, Ketema. We had John Morlu to the wire. I don't know what. Was that 220 or 330 or 250 or 550? Voltage running through the wire today with John Morlu.
Higher than that, my man. Higher than that. Higher than that. The boy kept the attention and captured the attention of the town and diaspora everywhere. People were waiting for this, and he delivered. I told you. He started out by playing safe for about our strategy. You pushing and pushing, he start opening. I said, look at him.
Dama texted me. Dama said, you keep that man. Dama said, you keep that man one more minute. That man would take something out of power. I said, no, Dama. We gotta let the guy go. Yeah, the man was on a mission. Thanks to you, Ketema. Next week, we are here to discuss the issue one-on-one with the CEO. Don't forget tomorrow. We got a lot of breaking news. Somebody from the government belongs to the guest share in MedTech, number one. Number two, we heard the issue that Wilmer Smith received $520,000, for wrongful dismissal, 2023 during the time of the election. Senator order finance administrator gave him $520,000. We got that story. We'll be giving you the full information. We want to say the president is back in the country. Joseph Yuma Bwaka. Everything he brought back, we're discussing. Again, thank Liberia. Love Liberia. Kev Hassan together. Let's build Liberia. This is the best we can do. Ogusho Ketema, thank you very much.
But thanks, man. No, see you next week. It's gonna be heavy. Let's talk. Conference call tonight.
Yeah. Yes, sir. We will. Thank you very much, Damo. Kevin, stay around.
My man, we'll talk after the show.
Damo.
Yeah, girl.
No one doesn't even ask you how you managed that would be a government. Yeah, thank you. Damo, thank you very much. Have a good night.
The internet is buzzing. You're buzzing.